Hello, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I hope you're doing well. So, today I thought we would do a little bit of a debate. I love watching debates, I love people having a conversation and there being a moderator. So, this video is it's a debate between Gman and someone called Jake. I think that's his name. Let's have a look. Um, yeah, Gman and Jake. Yeah, actual Jake is his name. So this debate was in 2019, and these people are, obviously G-Man is a Christian, and Jake, I'm not sure whether I, I'm really not sure whether Jake is religious or not. I really don't know. But because I'm an ex Christian, and I like to understand how did I get lost in the religion? How was I not rational? How did these things make sense to me then? How did the Bible make sense? So it's always interesting to see a Bible thumper as someone who takes their religion so seriously, because that was me before. Maybe not as crazy, maybe not as loud and obnoxious, but that was me before. So I tried to understand the mindset. So, yes, let's have a hey, hello. I will be there making coffee. Okay, look out for number one. Mark, how are you doing today? What time is it where you are, Mark? What time is it? Listen, I'm going to come out there to come enjoy that sunshine over there. I tell you, I envy you. I do. I envy you. It's so cold down here. Hey, Inquisitor Bacon, hello. Look out for number one. I'll be there making coffee. Okay, good, good. Inquisitor Bacon, how are you doing today? How's your daughter? How is your wife? Hope your wife is doing well, and you hope you're doing well. So, guys, you know, as usual, I just come on here. I try to. Oh my goodness, 12:44 a.m. So, are you, Mark? Are you up or are you going to bed? Which one is it? Are you awake or are you going to bed? At 12:44. I go to bed late myself. I do. So about this time, thinking, okay, it's time to go to bed. About 12:44. But my goodness, you're always up at really odd hours. Mm-mm. Hey, Dr. Cyrus. Hello. How you doing, Dr. Cyrus? I hope you're well. You just woke up. Oh, at 12:44 a.m. If you just waking up at 12:44 a.m., that's it. I don't think you'll be going back to sleep no more. I do not think you'll be going back to sleep. Wife and I just done some cleaning while the munchkin is playing Broforce. Pretty much the old Contra Nintendo games with over the top bro versions of action movie characters. Okay, I get that, and I'm glad that everyone's doing okay. Dr. Cyrus, I'm good, thank you. Yes, and you? I've got the COVID, Dr. Cyrus. Yes, I've got the COVID. My son brought it home. The last time he brought it home, um, we managed to myself and my other son managed to not catch it. But this time around we weren't so lucky. So we've all got it. All three of us have got it, myself and my two boys. But our symptoms are very mild. James Henry, hello. Where have you been, James Henry? I haven't seen you in a while. James Henry, I know talking about Gman is not one of your favorite subjects, but coming from my background as an ex-Christian, one of the things I struggle with is because I was angry when I came away from Christianity. I was angry at myself for believing these things. How did these things make sense to me once upon a time? How did when I listen to Bible stories now, I can't fathom how these things made sense. I can't fathom how on earth did I think these things were good. So for me, it's interesting to watch Christians who are out there speaking about their Christianity. They're very serious. It helps me to understand my mindset when I was still like them. It helps me understand. So I was brainwashed. Okay. Gosh. I was brainwashed. Oh. Holy crap basket. Stay safe and get better soon. Thank you. Thank you. James Henry, thank you. I'm the same. You have Dr. Cyrus says, I don't have a sleep pattern. I have a sleep medley. At least you're getting sleep. At least you're getting some kind of sleep. Sleep medley. Okay. How am I feeling? Hey, Steve McRae manager. Steve McRae manager, you were supposed to send me a link. How I'm supposed to reach you with my song, because I'm writing my song, and my song is nearly ready. So yeah. I was brainwashed. I agree with the brainwashing. I do. But what's annoying, what's frustrating is I did not go in expecting to be brainwashed. I had no choice. I was born into Christianity. There really was no choice. I did not ask to be brainwashed. I did not volunteer myself to be brainwashed. It was done to me. So I had to make my way out of the brain. It's a painful process. Coming away from religion, any form of religion, it is a painful process, because if you did take that religion really seriously, and everything depended on your belief in God, how do you come away from that? And just making your way out of that. And then I was telling some people yesterday, come to think of it, I am the only member of my family who is an atheist. Everyone is still religious. So they can't relate. Nobody can. Oh. So I'm glad I have people like yourselves who who understand, who relate. I know some of you might not call yourself atheists. Some of you are still Christian. You're here on my channel. I've got Christians who are here on my channel. This is it's open for everyone. But just having you guys being able to listen to me, being able to, we can go through this together. It means a lot. It means a lot. Religion equals social control. Absolutely. Okay, maybe programmed. Right. Okay, maybe programmed. I was angry too when I first left. Now the only anger I get is towards the blatant scam artists who take advantage of them. Dr. Cyrus, and that's exactly what I try to do. I may not be perfect at it. I may not be the best at it, but I'm trying my hardest, because when I came out, I was thinking, now, there's no way that these preachers, these leaders don't know that this is bullshit. There's no way that they can say that they don't know. I think not all of them know. Some of them know and some don't. But I think the majority know. But they still go ahead and perpetrate this mind control. No. Indoctrinated. Yes. Look out for number one. Yes. I'm sorry I've been lazy. I'll hit you on Twitter today. Okay, great. So you guys can understand just having these conversations. I cannot have these conversations with people who are still deep in the religion. They will not understand. James Henry is agnostic. I appreciate being agnostic because being agnostic means I'm not trying to be definite. I'm not trying to be certain. I will question anything you bring my way. And that's the position people should have with religion. Don't forget profit and tax exemptions. That's the whole idea, isn't it? Tax exemptions. Why are these people tax exempt? Listen, really, religion is the fastest money-making scheme, in my opinion. You don't have to pay taxes, and you get the members to give you money. So you're getting it on both, on every side. In Africa, when I was going to church many years ago, when it's the pastor's birthday, people come together and put money together. So on top of your 10%, on top of your building fund, on top of your tithes, offerings, when it's the pastor's birthday, oh my goodness, everybody has to bring something. People buy cars for pastors. People buy just outlandish things for their pastors. Gullible. Be careful. A is a troll. Okay. Let me block them. Block them. Okay. Hey, Kitty E. Hello, Kitty E. Scapegoat Iscariot. Here's an example. I don't know, but I feel quite sure that if I had been told the history about the Bible along with the Bible, I would not have believed the Bible. 40 years it took to be free from it. Hello, Scapegoat Iscariot. Scapegoat Iscariot. On my Instagram, I posted something about the Noah's Ark, and a Christian who we went to church together at the time. I no longer go to church, but she made a comment saying, when I was growing up, I was taught that the Noah story was not a real story. I was taught just to take the lessons from the Noah story. So I said, okay, great. I said, can you tell me what's real and what isn't real in the Bible? Is it possible? Since you were taught that the Noah story, I said, do not forget, millions of people have been taught that the story of Noah is in fact real. So good on you that you don't believe it is real, right? You were taught that. But please spare a thought for the people who were taught that it is a real story, that God did wipe away the whole earth except 8 people. And you think she would come back with an answer for me? No answers. I think if you must teach about the Bible, you need to put a disclaimer along with the teaching saying, believe at your own peril. Do not take everything in this book as fact. Goodness. Pastor appreciation. Oh yes, Till X. And how are you doing today, Till X? Uncle Jesus. Hey, hey. Uncle Jesus, real Bible reading. They are one-eyed farmers. I didn't spot the bot. Never mind. I've sorted it. I've blocked them. It happened to me in my yesterday's stream, Russian trolls. Okay. So anyway, the Bible is a book of incoherency. And I agree. I was in Catholic, Dr. Cyrus says, I was in Catholic primary school and they told us Noah was real. Dr. Cyrus, one Christian comes along and says, we were taught that the story of Noah wasn't real. Excuse me? We were taught that it was a real story. I don't know how many of you ever saw the Jehovah's Witnesses my book of Bible stories. Don't know if any of you ever came across the Jehovah's Witness, my book of Bible stories, the yellow book that had some beautiful pictures in it about the Bible teaching. You know, it's beautiful. It's so attractive. Makes you want to open it and see what's in there. I still remember that book. I still remember the pictures. I still remember how things looked in there. And those were ingrained in me. So when I read the Bible stories, I still remember those pictures, and always just imagine that those stories were true. So, goodness, how can these people come out and say, oh, we know this one's not real. We know that's not real. Okay, guys. So I'm going to play this video by our friend Gman. Now, I have nothing against this man. I don't know him from anywhere. His videos fascinate me. The things that come out of his mouth, it just, I don't know. I just do not know. I had the same yellow book. Okay, so you know the book that I'm talking about. Yes. All right, let me.
And given our question, given that we usually have the affirmative go first, I'm willing to, though this is up to the debaters. So Gman and Jake, if you guys would actually prefer that Gman goes first, that's totally okay too. It's ultimately up to you guys.
I'm fine with that too, yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem going first at all.
You bet. Well, then the floor is yours, Gman. Thanks for being here.
All right, and thank you for having me. It's always a blessing to come on here and to be able to talk to your guests. First thing I want to do is I want to dedicate this conversation to my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. Secondly, I like to dedicate this conversation to Matt Dillahunty, because believe it or not, Matt Dillahunty has a lot to do.
Can you guys hear this video?
About this particular topic, because Matt Dillahunty was the very first person I ever heard say that he was more moral than God of both the God of the Old and New Testament. So I guess I'll start my my opening statement this way.
Okay, thank you.
In this conversation this way. There's usually two different worldviews concerning morality, and it's either you have a subjective worldview or you have an objective worldview. A subjective worldview is usually based on your opinions, and an objective worldview only deals with the facts. It deals with absolute moral absolute.
Could go up a bit. Okay,
I'm a person.
1 second. We just. That is the highest it can go, unfortunately. That's the highest the video will go. Okay. No, that would be my microphone. 1 second. Speaker. Microphone, speaker. Okay, that's the speaker. That's it. I think that's the highest it will go. That's the highest it will go. Sorry. Okay, that's the highest it will go. Unfortunately, guys.
And that holds to objective moral values. I do it absolutes. I believe that, for example, it is wrong to lie, it's wrong to steal, it's wrong to murder. I don't necessarily believe that it's wrong in all cases to kill because there are times when it's necessary. All right. So with that being said, when we're determining whether or not someone is a good person or a bad person or a good person or an evil person, typically we're going by the things that they actually do. Okay, not necessarily who they are, but what they do. If we see somebody going out in society murdering people, we'll say that that person is an immoral person. If we see somebody raping people in society, we'll say that that person is immoral. The thing is, when we're talking about God, I'm sorry, before we get to God, when we're talking about human beings, we're talking about human beings that are under law. The reason why murder is wrong at the end of the day to all of us is because it is unlawful to take someone's life just because, according to your opinion, it's okay or whatever. You know what I mean?
So this person that Gman is debating, Jake, what's his name now? Let me go check. Actual Jake. To be fair, I don't know what his beliefs are. I really don't know. But it's interesting when Christians come along and do debates because Christians think that they have this high moral ground. They think that everything revolves around their religion, everything revolves around Jesus. Without Christianity, there'll be no morals. Without God, we wouldn't know what is good and what is bad. Without the 10 Commandments, we wouldn't have laws. I mean, it's interesting. The video I posted a video early on today. A Christian lady said, without Christians, without Christians, there'll be no schools. It's because of Christians we have schools. Without Christians, there'll be no schools. Goodness, you guys, your chat is going so fast. Guys, if you need to highlight, if you need me to see something, please put the @ sign. Just at me, because your conversations are going so quick, and I want to get through this video without much interruption. So I'm not going to interrupt much. No, we're going to get through this.
It would be unlawful for you to rape somebody. That's why we would think a rapist is a horrible person
Look
for
out for
doing
number
it. If
one. I've put
everybody
the link
accepted rape as being okay,
in the chat.
you know what I mean, then rape, then you wouldn't call that person a horrible person. But typically that person is under law. The thing is, when it comes to God, he is not under law. My opponent today, Jake, and with this awesome sense of humor today, is going to try to argue that God has done all of these horrendous and horrible things. But my opponent is going to have a tough time today because he's going to have to show us what law God has violated in order for any of us to come to the conclusion that he's done anything evil. If God has not violated any law to begin with, then what are we really accusing him of at the end of the day? If morality is subjective and based on our own personal opinions, then consider this. Let's say person A decides to murder someone. Person B decides to decides to do something else. Who's right in the situation? How do we determine who's right and who's wrong and whose opinion that we're supposed to act upon?
Okay, so by Gman's standard, God doesn't live by any laws. God there are no laws when God is concerned, because don't forget, God lives outside of space and time. He is everything. He's the creator. He lives outside of space. He is all these things. And so he is not bound by any laws. But somehow, this God sets laws for humanity. The same one who does not live by any laws. The same one who can do anything he likes whenever he pleases, whenever it suits him, will choose to set laws for humans and say, and if you break those laws, I will punish you. I will deal with you. But he, no, he has no laws. He just no, my goodness. Okay, is this Jake from he's Jake from Jake and Hannah. Right, okay. Is that him? Okay, good. Hello, look up for number one.
Hello, young lady.
Hey, look at you. Looking really nice. Oh wow. Look at the haircut.
Yeah.
Oh. Hope you had a good week.
Yeah, wiki. I was speaking with
Yeah.
the Black Atheist Rant yesterday. 5 hours. Jesus Christ. 5 hours.
5 hours. Oh
Nasty.
wow.
I was going like that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. With 6 other geezers.
Oh wow.
Mental.
Was that the middle of the night?
What do you mean middle of the night? We finished what? Our time, you and I, our time, 8 o'clock.
AM.
Yeah, this morning.
That's the thing. Black Atheist Rant. His
Yeah.
time is always so late. I'm always fast asleep when his live streams are on.
Yeah, true, very true. Sometimes he catch me when I'm driving my truck. So
okay.
might as well just listen to him instead of being interactive. So got no choice.
All right.
That's good. Anyway.
Okay, great. Okay, let's get into this debate. Gman and Jake.
Usually when we're having these kind of conversations, people will appeal to emotion in order to get people to agree with their proposition. Let me just show you just very quickly just how disgusting and immoral human beings are at the end of the day. 5 million Jews getting killed during the Holocaust. 16 million people being killed during World War I. World War II, 2.3 billion people. Vietnam War, 3 to 5 million. Joseph Stalin, if you just count the famine and nothing else, 5.7 million. But altogether, roughly about 75 million, right?
Stop it there for a second.
Then you got
Stop it. Okay.
The nuclear bombs that we.
He's missing the point. Yeah, that he's God annihilated the whole fucking world. Yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, he's acting in double standards, making accusation about different people in some sort of either World War One, II, or some sort of dictatorship, or some sort of like a Hitler, which was a fucking Catholic or Christian, whatever, one of them two. It doesn't matter. Whatever sum he comes up with, it would be far inferior to the alleged flood. Period. He's got no case to answer. He has got no case to answer.
No, because he thinks that his God, Yahweh, that's the God he serves. He's not bound by these laws, so their God can do anything, and it's just.
Well, that's called special pleading. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's excusing somebody that has done allegedly something far worse, and then accusing us of being bad. Really?
No. Sorry, I was just trying to click on the comments. There's so many comments. So, but let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. 146,000 people died when we dropped the bomb on them. What about rape victims? And the average people that are raped every year, and this is just women, we're not counting the men, are well over 300,000 people. What about the abortions? What about weapons of the creation of weapons of mass?
Wait, is he trying to say that 300,000 women being raped? What has that got to do with? this debate? I mean, is he trying to say that it's people without a God, they're the ones raping people?
No, he's trying to justify, not justify. He's just trying to point out how bad we are as a
Okay,
humans. That's his.
that's
That's why he's quoting different atrocities throughout the world.
so Christians don't rape, no?
No, of course not. Don't be silly.
Christians don't rape. All right, I get it.
Destruction, school shootings, terrorist attacks, starving people that exist in the world wide. Well, we got rich, wealthy people sitting in their mansions and whatnot. Human beings are disgusting. You can't say that God has done any of these things. But again, let's see what Jake has to say, because I don't want to give him too much. Let's hear what he's got to say. Jake, I know that was funny, man. I know human beings are just disgusting people, and you think that's funny, but let's hear what you got.
That's projection.
No, I was laughing about the abortions. Okay, so I don't think God has killed anybody since I don't think he exists, obviously.
Oh, so
But
Jake is an atheist, right?
I'm gonna
Fantastic.
just grant,
Yes.
Of course.
Are you surprised? I'm just going to grant you his existence for the sake of the argument, because it doesn't make sense for me to just I don't know, stop you and argue about the existence of God instead. So we're going to argue as if there is a God that exists, because it's just more fun for me. So if you okay, I guess it should start with
Noxem Volpenhair, how you doing? I
you
think
think
this is
free
about
will is a good thing, right?
morals. This is a debate
You don't
about
have an opening
morals.
statement? You don't want to just talk for a little while?
No, I'm more interested in a conversation. So do you think and this is how I usually do it. So I'm going to interrupt you from time to time to make clarifying statements. You can interrupt me from time to time if I confuse you. Totally fine with that. Do you think that free will is a good thing? Like, do you think that that's a positive thing?
I think it's a very positive thing, and I think as an atheist, you think it's a double positive thing.
Sure, man. Yeah, I can agree with that. So, so is having free will?
Okay, look out for number one. Why is it that Gman does that a lot? When he's asked a question, you just said it, projection. He tries to tell you what he thinks you are thinking. He tries to tell you what he thinks is going through your mind. Why does he's not the only one who does that.
Right.
Lots of religious people try to tell you that you believe in a God. You know it in your mind that there is a God. I mean, you don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know what's going on in my mind. I don't tell you what's going on in your mind. So why are you trying to tell me what's going on in my mind? So why do you think he does that?
It is difficult to actually pinpoint because he's a weird character, right? He's in defense mode all the time, okay, and he's definitely shifting the burden of proof in the sense of my God doesn't do anything wrong, but you puny humans are the cause of all the problems in this planet, right? And that's double standards, in my opinion.
A double standard. I agree. Okay, let's carry on. Let's hear Jake.
Better than living in a world where no one is allowed to kill each other?
Yes, I believe that's free. As a matter of fact,
okay,
that question doesn't even make sense.
Oh, actually, sure it does. Yeah, it does.
Because even if you live in a world with free will, obviously you have the choice between doing good, and you have a choice between doing good or evil.
Yeah,
it's a good question though.
Yeah. And so you would rather live in a world where people had the ability to kill somebody rather than a world where someone had zero ability to kill somebody, and based only on the fact that one has free will, the one that's able to kill somebody, and the one on the other hand doesn't have free will, so they can't even fathom killing somebody. You'd rather live in
I would like to
world A with free will.
make a clarifying statement.
Yeah, sure.
The clarifying statement is I'd rather live in a world where I have the ability to choose.
Sure,
I don't
absolutely.
want to be told to live one way. I want to have the ability to
Okay,
choose.
that makes sense. So why do you want to go to heaven then?
I want to go to heaven so I can worship my God and be with him for all of eternity.
Do you have free will in heaven?
In which I will have free will.
You will have free will. So you could kill somebody in heaven.
No, but I'll be able to choose in heaven.
Wait, why wouldn't you be able to kill somebody in heaven?
Because in heaven you can't kill anyone.
Why not? It says in the Bible. Well, it does say in the Bible that you can destroy that the souls can be destroyed. So I mean,
hold on a minute.
Yeah,
Because the misunderstanding here. When you're in heaven, you're a spirit, or just your soul that's in heaven. There is no physical body for you to kill.
Of course
What
not.
definition of death? What definition of death are you using when you're talking about this?
Well, just getting them out of heaven. So let's assume that you can't kill anybody in heaven.
It can be a termination of existence. It doesn't matter if it's body or no body, right? It's just termination of your presence being. Yeah. Even so, this retard Gman, he's just making a description of heavens, like if he was there yesterday. Really?
Exactly. He doesn't know what it looks like to be in heaven. Doesn't know if the place even exists to begin with. But we make assertions, and this is the problem of religion. Religion makes all these claims that cannot be proven, that cannot be verified. They just think. I mean, there are Christians that think that the streets of heaven are paved with gold, but they never seen it. Anyways, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
No, that's fine. Can you? I'm sorry.
1 second. 1 second. I can interrupt you. There are two different definitions of death. There's physical death.
No, I'm fine with that.
And then there's spiritual death. What definition are you using?
I'm fine with us agreeing that you can't kill people in heaven. That's totally fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So can you make physical contact with other people in heaven?
Oh, of course you can.
Okay, so would you want, so you have the free will to slap someone in the face in heaven? How about that?
Yeah, if I choose to, yeah, but I'm not going to want to do those things.
But why not?
I'm not going to want to do those things because I willfully submit my will to Almighty God. It is something that we're commanded to do here on earth, as we're going to do in heaven.
Okay, so do you think in heaven you'd be capable of not submitting willfully to God?
I'm not understanding what this got to do with the actual topic at hand.
Well, of course, it has a lot to do with it. So I'm just saying, like, do you think that you could willfully, if you you're in heaven, you die and you live a pious life and you go to heaven, you're rewarded with eternal pleasure in paradise, because you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and you were a good person or whatever you believe that gets you to heaven. So you're in heaven now, just your soul. Do you
I'm not
think
a Catholic? I should probably let you know that.
No, that's fine. I don't. So you're not for works, I assume, right? Yeah. So
wait, did he just say
so
he's
it's just
a
the belief in
Catholic?
God that gets you to heaven, right?
Right.
Like
our faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. So
Did he just say I'm not a Catholic?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know. He's talking out of his rear. I mean, it's like what the comment that you sort of highlighted. How can two less carry so much stupidity around? Well, because he's empty, right? He's empty, or he's a empty vessel that he fills it up with BS basically, and is spewing out nonsense.
You know, the sad part, the sad part is Gman is dumb, right? We'll say Gman is dumb, Gman is this, Gman is all these things. But there are people who believe the things that Gman believes. There are people who are dumber than him. There are people that believe in even worse things than he does. So, however dumb he is, there are worse people out there. And that's, for me, that's the scary part.
Well, okay, sure they are. I mean, there are all levels of dumbness and intellect, right? But
Mm.
the problem is not the people who are dumber than him. It's the dumb people that go on live and say stupid things like this guy. So
Right.
we have to interact with the dumbest on stream, basically. Yeah, not on other people. We can help other people for sure,
Mhm.
right? But one thing at a time. We have to address this nutcase first.
But would we not rather have people who are vocal about
Sure,
their I would rather have
sure.
people who are vocal speaking about it, so at least we know, than the people who, they don't speak nothing about, but they think these things, they feel these things.
Yeah, but
So I'm
they don't say that.
appreciative.
They don't say that they're dumb, right? They just got
No, no.
a level of opinion. So it's up to us to not filter, to make them aware, shall we call it, right?
Right,
Of the belief
right.
system is not coherent. Okay, especially not in the natural world. If they want to be in the CC land and make it up, fine. Yeah, we all can accept wild imagination. It's when they translate it to the real world that's the issue, and the concept thereof.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you have faith in Jesus
It's not
Christ.
a belief in God. It's not a belief in God.
Okay,
Because
faith in Jesus Christ.
A lot of atheists wrongly believe that if you believe that God exists, you're going to heaven.
Sure,
That's not the case.
it's faith in Jesus Christ. That's absolutely fine. I'm fine with that. Whatever. So you're there. Do you think once you're there in heaven as your soul, do you think that you could ever willfully choose to opt out? Do you think if you're in heaven for 1,000,000 years, do you think that you could on the millionth year decide I don't want to worship God anymore? Do you think you could make that decision? Not are you capable of you willing yourself? Are you just like if someone wanted to, could they do it? Do they have the free will to opt out?
Yeah.
They
Okay, I was
do.
going to say that.
Have you ever heard of an angel called Lucifer?
I have heard of an angel called Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer decided that he was no longer going to worship God, decided that he wanted to be worshipped. He wanted to be like the Most High, and he deceived a third of the angels into believing his lie.
This is great. I'm so glad you're going in this direction.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're debating whether or not mankind is more moral than God. Could you please make...
I think what's his name? Jake is asking these questions because he's setting him up for something. I can feel it. I can sense it coming. And it looks like Gman is towing the line. I'm sure these questions are he's asking are designed to set a trap or something. I don't know. What do you think? Because these questions, G-Man is not comfortable being asked questions. He would rather be the one yelling at you, asking you the questions, being the and antagonizing. He's not used to, just sitting there and letting the other person take control of the conversation and asking him questions.
But what's happening with this guy with the hair with the hat, right? The atheist is that he's basically saying, yeah, okay, I agree with that. It's like preparing the battle, preparing this the scenery for the attack, right?
Okay.
And can you see him under stress? Nah,
no.
He's having fun, my man. It's having fun. And this guy Gman hasn't got a fucking clue what's happening. He's laying the trap basically.
I feel it. I absolutely feel it. Hey, Fekinel, I see Fekinel in the chat. Okay, G-Man, take it away.
A point with this?
I'm absolutely making plenty of points. So are dead people angels?
Are dead people angels? I don't understand what you mean.
Are you an angel if you go to heaven?
No, I won't be.
Okay, so so we know that angels can defect from God, but can you?
I believe it's possible because we have free will.
Okay,
I
so
don't understand what does apostasy or
of course,
backsliding have to do with whether or not mankind is more moral than God.
of course not. Why would you? You don't know what's in my head right now. So yeah, you don't know where I'm going. That's fine. I just think it's interesting to lay some baselines down. So you think that there's free will in heaven, which is good. Okay,
You're
that's
asking
fine.
me a lot of questions. I think it's my turn to ask some questions. You're not.
You can
I said
ask
it.
whatever question you want. Yeah, go
Questions.
Okay, great. So what evil has God done?
for it. Well, so you brought up Lucifer. So Satan, who you believe is Satan, correct? And,
Okay, so what evil has God done?
Right. I totally, yeah, I'm getting to it. So, God has control of the universe, correct?
Yes, he has control of the universe.
Okay. So why would he allow a system in which the devil would have any
Right.
power over people whatsoever?
Because
Is that
he
our
has
free
given-
will?
Because he has given us free will. You're creating a false dichotomy.
I'm not
I
creating
think,
a false dichotomy. I don't think our having free will doesn't necessitate a Satan existing.
I'm not really understanding where you're going with this, but if you're talking about why
I
would a
mean,
good
you
God
understanding
create...
it is not my problem.
Well, here's the thing, Jake. You gotta let me finish here, okay?
Yeah.
So
Just
it sounds like you're
just
trying to say
answer the
that God is
question.
evil
Don't
because
worry
he
about where
created
he's
Lucifer.
going with the
No,
just
I just would put
answer.
it in I would put it in the cons part of the list, in the pro and cons list.
Okay. So you're saying that God is evil
Mhm.
because he created Lucifer, or is he evil
No.
because he created the devil? Which one?
No, I didn't say he was evil because of it.
Okay, that's what I asked you though. My question for you
Sure.
is what evil has God done? Because obviously you believe that mankind is more moral than God. In order
Of
for that
course.
to be true, then you got to be able to show this.
Yeah.
And all you've been asking me is questions about free will. Explain to me
I don't think. Wait.
how mankind is more moral than God.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I don't think that our free will necessitates Satan's existence, and I don't think that you would say if Satan didn't exist, we wouldn't have free will. Would you say that?
I don't think this is a debate about free will. I would like to understand.
Free will is definitely important in this, right? Because
I want to know why you believe that mankind
Okay.
is more moral than God. I haven't heard an argument yet. What is your argument?
All right, so well, I'm making a few arguments, but so would you say that like
One second.
you like to use
That
examples
question.
like
That question was
murder
wrong.
and rape and famine and stuff all
What
What
question?
what Gman says, more moral. Okay, you either have good morals or bad morals, not more morals. More of what? Of good or bad? Right? It's basically morality is just behavior. Okay, it's a synonym of behavior, right? I would classify morality as interaction behavior between sentient beings. Right, that's it. Right, it is a social behavior. Right now, if God does not interact with the physical world, not physical world. Well, yeah, physical world is with the humans. Then he's not making any moral attributes. I.e., he's not being good or bad. You need to interact with somebody. If I'm alone in an island, I cannot be moral. Right, my moral is zero. Yeah,
Yes.
it's not good morals or bad morals. Okay, so you alone cannot be moral. In the sense, because for you to activate the moral mode, you need to talk to somebody. You need to interact, not talk, interact. Yeah, it becomes good when you create something that is not in accordance with the both of you, two or more. Right, well, I'm just going on the simpler term. Right, so if I interact wrongly with you, I'm not being behaving in a good standard. Right, so being morally bad to you. Right. So he's just defining the abstract morality, more moral of what? Right. That's basically. So the question is wrong.
Okay, I agree, and people agree with that as well. Kitty says morality is relative. So okay,
Yeah,
G-Man.
for sure.
man-made atrocities. If you were God, would you I don't know, create hurricanes?
Well, here's the thing. God doesn't create hurricanes.
He created the planet and
God
on
created-
which her systems exist, and he is omniscient, so he knew that creating Earth in the way that he was creating it would in fact cause hurricanes and people would die from them without ever exercising free will whatsoever. So yes, of course.
I know you told me earlier that you're going to interrupt me, but can you do me a favor and tell me what I was going to say?
No.
No, you can't, right? Okay. So how about I finish? How about I finish what I was going to say?
Absolutely, go for it.
God does not create hurricanes. At least I don't think he does. He created an Earth that has an ecosystem that has hurricanes.
Okay, so I said that.
But and that's what I was going to get to, but you cut me off and then you said it for me.
But surely
you wanted me to answer that.
So God did not create the hurricane, but he created the world that has the hurricane in it. Right?
He created something, but Gman, this dishonest piece of crap, he does not want to acknowledge the bad things that were created inside of that closed system. That's the problem that he's having. Yeah, he created, but not the small things. You know what? When I was living in South America, right, I witnessed mad landslides. Okay, and I've seen pictures of family members buried in mud in bedrooms. I mean, the reporters have gone to site and taken pictures of people like that. Yeah, just covered. So he's listen. Carry on. That's nasty.
He knows that if he answers that question, that God creates hurricanes, he knows what's going to happen next.
Sure.
But then in trying to avoid that question by saying that God did not create the hurricanes, but he created the world. Listen, however, this is the problem with theists. In trying to prove that your God does exist, in trying to prove what doesn't even, there's no evidence for, you set yourself up for disaster, in my opinion. And what's wrong in saying I don't know? If you're asked a question and you really do not know, just say I don't know. There's no harm in saying I will happily tell you I don't know. These live streams for me are a learning curve for me. I'll happily tell you I have no clue than to pretend that I do know.
I'm going to give you an analogy. This is like creating a Rolls-Royce turbine engine, right, and put it on the high street, right, and what he's not admitting is the effect. He's meeting the cause, but not the effect, right? So he says, okay, put the engine on a mall. Yeah. Oh, but if it comes on and blows the hell out of people, that's not God's problem. Don't put the fucking thing there in the first place. That's the whole point. Yeah. Don't construct a world where natural bad things could occur.
Exactly.
Simple as.
This goes back to the story of Adam and Eve.
Oh,
right?
jeez. Yeah, don't get me there. Yeah.
This God, this all-knowing God, he creates the tree. He plants this tree that would destroy his children for eternity. Don't forget, this thing happened thousands of years ago, and we're still suffering because 2 people ate this tree. But guess what? God planted that tree there. Not only did he plant it there, he puts it right in the center, the middle, and say, thou shalt not touch. Whatever happened to don't plant the tree in the first place?
Right.
Don't even put it there. Keep it out of sight. It would have been a different thing if Adam and Eve went looking for it, desperately looking. Where's this thing? But
put it in the north
at them.
Put it in the north or south pole, right? Yeah.
Just how about let's not even exist at all?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But even if he wants to make an effort to say, oh, by the way, it's the tree of good of knowledge, right? So that means that they were not knowledgeable at that time about the consequence. And the worst thing is, what about forgiveness? Yeah, the Christian says, oh, ask for forgiveness, repent, Why didn't you give the fucking these two idiots, Adam and Eve, the possibility to repent?
Exactly.
Yeah, problem solved.
And
We could have been on a beach right now, chilling out.
The worst part is they've just been created.
Yeah.
The two of them had just been created. These people had not even lived life. They didn't know what was right, what is wrong. They had no clue about anything. And then God just comes along and starts testing. No, man. That God
No.
is cruel.
Look,
He's wicked.
Incest can have a mental detriment, right? But making a clone of a damn person, yeah, making Eve a clone of Adam, you're talking about two dumb people not knowing what to do in a fertile land, if it would exist. Never mind making Adam out of fucking dust. You know what I mean? That's an insult to our intelligence. Yeah.
You know, when I was growing up, I honestly believed that we were made from dust. I honestly believed that our body was dust. Do you know? I would look at the sand and think, come, but my skin don't look like that. But how come I'm made from? Listen, you know, we're derailing this conversation. There are things that let's just carry on with this video, because when I think about how much lies were told to us growing up, it makes me really angry. But you know, it is what it is, and let's just let Gman do his thing.
The question you got to let me answer.
But
if you're not,
sure.
If you're not,
that's
then
fine.
I know how this conversation is going to go.
All right,
but I'll just cut you off every 2 seconds.
That's fine. So, wouldn't you say God knew when He made the Earth that hurricanes would exist, right?
Yes, He did. Why are hurricanes evil?
Are hurricanes evil, or is allowing people to die evil? Like if you were standing on one side of the bridge, right? One side of a bridge, and you saw people on the other side of the bridge, and all you had to do was walk across that bridge and hold people by the hand and bring them to your side of the bridge to save them, would you do so? Probably.
Here's the thing. That's a hypothetical scenario.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
I would have to know all of the ins and outs of the scenario. All I know is this.
Just save the people. Don't be ignorant.
That because God allows people to die, that makes them evil. Is that true?
Well, I'm asking if you personally would make a world in which hurricanes exist.
Yes, I would. Do you understand why hurricanes are necessary?
He would.
Why are hurricanes necessary?
Hurricanes are necessary so our ecosystem can do the things that it's doing.
Okay, so do you
wait?
No.
Because of no. Let me finish.
I mean, you can go ahead, but you're gonna.
Hurricanes are formed because of pressure,
sure,
and because of heat,
yeah,
and because of various different things that goes on in our ecosystem.
Yep,
Hold on a
minute.
Are. The various things that go in our ecosystem. Okay. Now here's the thing. Now you're trying to. Our debate is whether or not man is more moral than God.
And you're a man, right?
And right now, it sounds like you're saying that because God allows hurricanes, that makes him immoral. And I would like a straight answer from you. It's a simple yes or no. Are you saying that God is immoral because He creates hurricanes? Because if you don't say yes or no, then I'm just going to assume that's what you're saying.
He's more immoral than me, and I am a man, and this is the point of the discussion. So here's the question again, then. Okay, so do you think God is so uncreative that He couldn't create a world in which the ecosystem didn't need hurricanes to operate properly?
That's a good
Earlier,
question.
you said that God didn't exist.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, and
That's
I said for the sake of argument, I'm going to grant you his existence.
In order to have this conversation, you got to let me finish. If you're not going to let me finish, when you look back at this later, you're going to see yourself debating with yourself. I know you're here for the giggles and the laughing and not being serious.
What?
But don't
Are you
worry.
saying that my corn
I'll get to
my Answer the question.
soon. I'll get to my line of questioning soon, and then you'll understand how it feels.
Right.
But anyway, tell me something. You believe in the theory of evolution, and you believe that
here we go. Here we go. Theory of
everything that
evolution.
goes on in our
Shift
ecosystem,
it.
right?
Sure.
Here we go.
That's what you believe, right? Tell me something. Would you believe that Mother Nature would be cruel for creating hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that?
What?
Mother Nature? You mean when you say Mother Nature? You mean
when I say Mother Nature, you know, that God that you worship in the sense that you believe in natural selection, speciation, and you believe in Big Bang and all that stuff and whatnot. You believe
Big Bang isn't related to evolution, but yeah.
Yes, it is. It's called cosmic evolution. What are you talking about?
Cosmic
So here's
evolution
the
isn't
thing
a
now,
thing, Kent Hovind. What?
Yes, it is a thing. So
It's
anyway,
not
let's
a
get back to
thing.
it now. Earlier in my opening statement, I mentioned that the Nazis killed 5 million Jews.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that in World War II, 2.3
He's all over the
billion
place.
people died.
He is,
Who
isn't
killed
he?
those
He
people?
usually is. He's always
According to
he's
your
not
he's doing-
coherent
who
at
killed
all.
them?
No, because he's doing damage control,
People
basically.
killed
It's-
people?
Who
Mm.
killed 2.3
Burden
billion
shifting.
people
James
in
Henry
Well,
says
definitely,
World
definitely.
War
burden
II,
shifting.
according to your worldview?
People?
Human beings murdered
Yeah.
2.3 billion people who
Yeah.
are committing abortion. Who
Okay,
are
I think
committing
abortions are
abortion?
fucking great, so that's not a good one. You should go on to the next one.
Okay. So you're saying that? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You're saying that human beings killed 2.3 billion people in World War II.
Yeah.
You're saying
Human
that
beings, like
are
everybody
responsible for killing
participating in
unborn
killing them.
babies
Yeah,
on a regular basis.
really?
You as a human being said that killing unborn babies
Sure.
is great.
Yep.
So tell me something. What about the school shootings? You think that's great too?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not
You know,
good.
the atheists are the ones that's going in doing these things.
We do?
All right.
Okay,
So
let me stop here.
tell me something. What about Joseph?
Okay, atheists are the ones shooting in schools. Did you hear that? Or was it just me? Atheists are the ones shooting people in schools. You hear that? Okay.
Stalin when he caused a famine in
okay.
his own country and killed 5.7 million people. You can laugh it up, but I know what the debate topic is. You claim that God is immoral and that human beings are more moral than God. Yet,
Yes.
out of your own mouth, you're admitting that human beings are responsible for the deaths of 2.3 billion people in World War II.
Yeah.
Okay?
I
So
mean-
let's get serious here for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking about free will. You're talking about the creation of Satan.
You're trying to always raise the voice.
G-Man,
Exactly.
G-Man, my friend, hey, calm the fuck down, boyo.
All right.
I am all right, but you've been interrupting me this entire time.
Yeah,
No,
but
And
he
I really want to
hasn't.
talk about the topic.
Okay.
I
So
am.
the point of the matter is, how can you sit there and say,
hey, I'm talking about the topic, okay? I am talking about the topic. You just your
and I would
brain
appreciate
can't
you
handle it.
stop
So
interrupting me.
I'm
would appreciate
definitely
if you
gonna
stop
fucking
interrupting
interrupt
me.
you right now, and here's why, okay? Here's the reason, because you didn't even answer the question that I asked you, dude.
You've been
All you
asking
did
me
was
a
you're like,
million
no,
questions.
no, I
You've
wanna
been
go
dominating
on.
the conversation.
Here's
You've
the
been
thing. I'll
dominating
answer.
the conversation.
Okay, one second,
You've been
one second. I'm
dominating-
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so
What we'll do is
Here's
if
the-
Jake wants to ask a question, and then G-Man, if you want to give an
Answer the
answer
question.
and then ask a return question, you can definitely do that.
actual question. So
And Jim, I'm making a request, Jim,
I'll-
that when I ask him a question, that I'm allowed to finish the question and that he has to answer it.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll answer any of your questions. So I'm going to answer this last question first that you asked, which is, can you believe that humans are more moral for killing 2 billion people over God? Yeah, and that means the bar for God is super fucking low. That's how bad this fucking entity is.
Right.
When you say, "Oh, how can you choose men over God?" Yeah, I know. That's how low the fucking bar is right now. That's what we got to beat. I only got to beat that. That ain't shit. So, here's the question that you didn't answer, okay? Do you not think that God is creative enough to come up with a system, a planet in which not only do you not need hurricanes for the ecosystem to function,
He had to
do you
say
think
natural
he's so
disasters.
not creative, this God that created the universe, he's so uncreative and uninspired and unintelligent that he couldn't create a world in which he created people that weren't capable or didn't want to, would never have a need or a desire to kill one another or to harm each other in any way? Wouldn't that be a world that has a little more creativity, a little more thought put into it?
Exactly.
Or do you think that there's something virtuous? Do you think that
I would like to answer your question.
Well,
you're asking me
okay.
like 4 different questions.
No,
Which
that
you
was
want me
one
to answer?
question. That was one question.
Okay, great. So you want to know about his creativity about creating people that don't want to kill themselves? That want
Yeah,
to kill
wouldn't you
other
think
people,
wouldn't you think it'd be a little bit more inspired if God created a world in which people didn't ever have the desire to kill one another? And do you think that it's virtuous that he ended up creating us in a situation where we do desire killing once in a while? Like, do you think that's a good thing?
I'm going to answer your question, but I would thank you for this debate, man. I really needed this, man, because I was having a bad day until I got in this room. Thank you for that question. In Genesis chapter 1 and 2, can you show me anybody dying in Genesis 1 or 2?
In Genesis 1 or 2?
Yeah, show me somebody dying.
Did Cain, did Abel not kill? No, did Cain not kill Abel?
Because the very fact that you're even asking me a question like that shows you read the first 2 chapters of Genesis. When God finished his creation, I'm trying to answer your question.
Down.
No, it's the Adam and Eve shit, and they get tempted.
I'm trying to answer the question because I'm next.
Okay, go for it.
You asked your question, so let me answer the question. In Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2, after God finished creating everything, He called His creation good. We don't see murder, we don't see rape, we don't see catastrophes. You want to know why those things exist? Because mankind decided that they wanted to be their own little deity.
Do we have to do the thing? Oh God.
Dude.
Oh, now we gotta argue about Adam and Eve.
Can I please finish?
Jeez. Okay.
Okay. So we're not going to be respectful in this room today.
I mean, you're yelling.
You asked me a question and you don't want me to answer the question.
I don't want you to yell.
Weak for an atheist. That is weak for you. Got to shut up to let me talk, then, and I won't have to yell. That's weak for an atheist.
You're yelling at me, and I'm not saying
Just answer the question, man.
So the bottom line is, we don't see murder, we don't see rape, we don't see any of these things going on in Genesis chapter 1 or 2. Okay,
right. Until they eat of the fruit of the knowledge of good.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
The fruit of the knowledge of good and evil.
Oh my God!
I don't want to listen to your fucking sermon, dude. We both know it. I do a Bible study.
Let's just for the audience. Let's if you want to let Gman finish, just for the audience, in case it's new to them.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's skip forward past the sermon shit.
Thank you. So I'm gonna finish saying what I have to say.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Bottom line is, in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2, God created a world in which He called good. There was no murder, there was no rape, there was none of these things going on. The man's question was, how come God wasn't creative enough to create a world where these things didn't exist?
Yeah.
And yet he can read Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 where these things didn't exist. Now it's my turn to ask a question.
Sure.
I noticed that you got all these opinions about God and whatnot regarding His morality.
Yep.
Before we go any further in this conversation, what is the moral basis that you are using to come to the conclusion that God is immoral or that you're a moral person? What is your basis? And do not run from this question. Answer it.
What's my
doing
moral basis?
Pre-sub attack.
Yes, what is it?
Relative morality.
Yeah, that's good.
So you believe that your own personal opinion counts as you being able to determine whether or not something is right or wrong.
In your own opening statement, you agreed to relative morality when you started talking, and you were like, you know, if a bunch of people agreed that rape was okay, they'd just go on raping. That's relative morality, right? So, relative to my morality, your God sounds like a piece of shit. So, as far as he wasn't creative enough to create a world in which there wasn't suffering, he wasn't, because he did. And do you know why? Do you know why? So he created those first people.
We're still on the question I asked you, because I didn't say what you got to say. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm not you. I have manners. Go ahead.
I'm very proud of you.
It talks about having manners.
He created a world in which he created 2 people, Adam and Eve, in Genesis 1 and 2 that you're mentioning, right? And he said that they were perfect and they were never going to die, right? And they were going to live life eternal in the Garden of Eden and shit like that. And then, because... What do you mean, what? Are you gonna?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, when is it gonna happen?
I never said none of that nonsense.
What's he doing? What's he doing that for?
What nonsense? What are you talking about?
Go to Genesis chapter 3, and he told them. I'm sorry, not in Genesis 3. He told them in Genesis 1 and 2 that if they ate the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that they would surely die.
Right.
He never told them that they wouldn't die. You just lied again, and all you've been doing in this room since you got here.
Wait. Hold on. Are you? Wait. No, I've talked to like millions of Christians. Like, is this the? So you think that Adam and Eve would have died if they didn't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil?
This is what the Bible says.
No. I want to know what you think.
I am trying to answer the question, dude.
I want to know what
Just
you
answer
think.
the
My answer,
question.
I'm just
Just
gonna say and be
answer the
quiet and listen to
question.
you talk to yourself.
That's
Because you
fine.
lost this debate already, dude. You don't even know it. So, anyways, let's get into this, okay?
What?
So,
All
if
right.
Adam and Eve never ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they also had the right to eat from the tree of life. So, yes, they would have lived forever.
Okay, that's
But
what I said,
they
so
were
I'm not
also
lying.
told, let me finish. But God also told Adam and Eve that if they ate from the tree that was in the middle of the garden,
Yep.
that they would surely die.
Yep, he did.
I think I'm in a room with the bottom of the barrel, man, because you don't even know what Genesis says.
Yeah, I do. I read it.
Just hold on for a
Okay,
second.
you did act like
Okay.
it then.
I do the.
Hold on.
I do a Bible.
How would Adam and Eve know what death is if they don't have they've not been acquainted with that, right? If you teach your kids something, yeah, they might not understand it, so they need experience. They they need some sort of interaction. They need to fuck it up to know. Oh shit, that is wrong. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I won't do it again. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying kill somebody to find out that that's wrong. What I'm saying is, they Adam doesn't know what die is if he's going to live forever, right? He has not experienced death, so he hasn't got fucking clue. So he could say, "Nah, probably." Well, I cannot say that he's probably saying that God is joking or anything like that, but he's clueless. So if he sees a woman, yeah, voluptuous woman, and says, "Hey, eat of this apple," yeah, that's the closest relation that this guy's got with real event. So he says, okay, whatever, I eat from it. What's wrong with that? Or better still, as I said before, and we going on about it. Why cannot he forgive, or why put that tree in the first place? Why create the trouble? Yeah, why create the trouble, the problem, or the environment to fail? That would be the key question. Yeah, is this God a bad designer? Or bad
He
planning, not
is.
designer, bad
He
planning.
is.
Yeah, that says, okay, let me see if I can fuck up or not. I'm not sure. Let me put the tree there to see if these two individuals. So he doesn't know or he knows. If he knows, he's complicit. If he doesn't know, yeah, why make them guilty in the first place? Either
When
way,
you when you dissect the story of
no.
creation, the whole religion falls apart. It's got no legs to stand on. When you dissect that story, when you take it apart, it just completely just, for me, that story, the story of Adam and Eve did it for me. It was one of the stories in the Bible that did it for me. I looked at that story, I thought, no, this is a cruel creator. But the biggest question that I had, this was the biggest question I had. I was asking, so who was writing this story? Who was writing the story of Adam and Eve and put it on scrolls? Adam certainly didn't write it. Eve didn't write it. So who did? They say it's Moses.
Nobody was alive minus 8 people in Noah's Ark, so it had to be Noah's descendant, right? So how the fuck Noah knew that anyway? How to carry the flag? That would have been at the very least word of mouth from somebody. But if it's nobody there, it could have been his imagination. Anyway, oh God, what are you talking about? Oh, Adam and Eve. Okay, let me write it down. Really? For all I care, it could have been an imagination from Noah.
David E. Taylor wrote it. I can believe that. I can believe that. Telling me Moses wrote it when Moses wasn't even there.
No, he could write
Ridiculous.
a story. No, he could write a story, right? But don't make it factual.
Exactly.
Right?
Tell
That's
people
it.
it's a story.
That's it.
How hard can it be? How hard can you just say, you know what? This is what we think happened. We think it. Don't tell me that this is gospel. This is truth. This is absolute truth. It's crazy. Mad people. Sorry guys. Okay, let's carry on, these people.
Study. So when he says if
we
you
could-
if you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you will surely die. Correct?
She
Yes.
said that they would surely die.
Right. Okay. The knowledge of good and evil. So, do you think that they had the knowledge of good and evil before they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and
What
evil?
does that got to do?
Did you mute yourself? Are you so fucking screechy and triggered that you muted yourself?
We lost you, G-Man. I can't hear you.
Oh, what a shame. So I'm just gonna keep talking until he comes back because he can't figure out his goddamn shit.
Hold on 1 second. I'll let you give a response,
so
Jake.
Easy.
I just don't want to lose G-Man. G-Man, I don't know if you're able to hear us.
Okay, I can hear you. Hold on.
Okay,
Are you
I'm gonna
done?
give.
I don't know what happened. Hold on.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Stop fucking around with your laptop.
Yes, we're gonna give Jake a chance to respond to what you were saying,
Because
and then we can come back to you,
being so
G-Man.
belligerent.
Okay,
He's
so
all over
how-
the place, and
How can you
Of
have
course,
the
he
knowledge
probably
of good
knocked
and
his,
evil before you eat of the tree of the
his
knowledge of good
microphone or
and evil
something.
that grants them the knowledge
I
of
don't
good and evil?
understand your question. I really don't understand your question.
Okay,
Clarify.
did Adam and Eve have the knowledge of good and evil before they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing.
That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
yes or
I
no. It's a
believe
yes or
Correct.
no
that-
question.
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing.
Damage control.
Regarding the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, Adam and Eve knew to a certain degree that they should not have eaten from the tree. I would
No,
consider
we
that
cannot
good
do
in
that.
Revelation that we would get later on. Okay? But I'm still not understanding what the heck does that got to do with whether or not man is more moral than God.
So you're shifting the burden
Are
again.
you okay?
Shifting goalpost.
I'm perfectly fine.
You
We're
yell a
debating
lot.
whether or not we are debating whether or not
Why
God
you
is
got-
more moral than man.
Yeah.
You're arguing for
Yeah.
subjective morality. I'm arguing for objective morality.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a room with a 2-year-old.
That's fine.
Do you understand?
Wait.
what we're
That's a
debating
good.
today?
That's a good idea. Do you think that a 2-year-old has a good grasp on morality? And do you think if you said, "Hey, don't touch this," do you think that child should be damned to hell if they do? Touch
Exactly.
This?
This is
Example
what
as I told
believe.
you.
I believe that mankind
All right.
is guilty of some of the worst atrocities in human history,
Okay.
and God isn't guilty of nothing, because God
Wait,
is
wait,
not
wait.
under. Because
I have a
God,
question.
hold on a minute.
Okay.
You are arguing.
Yeah.
You are arguing from a subjective moral, from a subjective moral
Yes,
view.
I am.
What God can say to you in this matter is
Yeah.
this: God believes that what He's doing is okay. You believe what He's doing is wrong. Who's right in this situation, and how do we know this?
Me.
You have to have an objective moral value. You have to have a absolute in order to look at. In
All
order
right.
to say whether.
All right,
somebody
fine.
does something.
My morality
You have
is
yet
objective.
Provided that.
My morality is
Your what?
objective. My morality is objective then.
Okay, so your morality is objective. Then
Yep.
okay, so what absolute moral laws are you following? That is right all the time and is wrong all the time.
Don't
under
be a-
every scenario all the time.
Yeah, sure. Don't be a cunt.
Okay, so you're saying that okay, so
Yep. That's
what do you mean by that?
Well, I
So
mean,
what do you
like-
mean by that?
Like
'Cause you're being one today. You're being one right now.
Oh.
So you can't
Okay.
tell me that that's wrong all the time, and then
Okay,
actually
G-Man.
do it.
No, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care, Jim. It's
Gotta
fuck them. I don't care.
gotta keep it on track. So
So here's
I am keeping it on track. He doesn't have any arguments on why God is immoral. He
absolutely
isn't
I do.
making any sense.
Absolutely I do.
What are your arguments? Spell it out.
we're gonna give Jake a chance to respond before you said what you said. So Jake, the floor is yours if you want to give a chance, and then
Yeah,
we'll come back to
And
you.
by the way, I didn't cuss. He cussed. He said that
Well,
T word,
yeah.
not me.
I would never call you a cunt, G-man. You're a good fella. So
You said that. I never said that. You said that.
He's behaving
Right.
No,
like
he
one.
didn't
So
say
anyway,
that. It's being a cunt
Sorry,
is
so,
a bad thing.
Moving forward, so the idea here is that if you wouldn't tell a 2-year-old, if you wouldn't torture a 2-year-old in hell for doing the wrong thing, then I don't know how you can be very comfortable with an entity torturing 2 people with the intellect of like an infant for eternity over doing things that they have no control over, right? Because if they
You're not
don't
eating
have the
fruit.
knowledge of good and evil, then they don't know what's good and bad. They
Correct,
could be told,
correct.
sure, but how are they going to know? They could just take things on faith, right?
Sorry, guys. I have to come in here.
Yeah.
I really have to come in and say this. How evil can this God be? You just created these 2. And already you start testing them. Now, before creating humans, right? God had created the animals, the creations of the earth, right? Now, look out for number one. Did he test any of those animals?
Of course not.
He didn't test.
Of course not. Well,
He
not
just
that we know.
created them and all was good. Then he
Yeah,
comes
everything was
along and
good.
creates these two. And guess what happens straight after? We put a test there. I mean, what kind of God is this? This God,
Even a talking snake is good. That's an irony, by the way.
no, but the talking snake never lied. The talking
No, I didn't say no,
told
never
a
lie.
lie.
What I'm saying is a snake could true. Hold on, how the fuck did the snake got knowledge? Right?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So
Okay,
the
wait,
snake has got
okay.
more. It's got more knowledge than two humans made on God's image. That makes God dumber.
Okay, so where was God when the snake came along?
On holiday.
Huh? He was on holiday?
Yeah, 7 day. He was when he made Adam and Eve. That was the end, right? So the 7th day, he rested. So that's when when the snake came along. He said, "This God is full of shit. You can eat the apple."
And guess what God does after they're done eating the fruit? Guess what he does? He shows up.
Yeah.
He shows up like the coward that he is. He was watching. You know, he was watching when the serpent came.
If he was watching, he's complicit. If he was not watching, he's not omniscient. So either way, he's guilty. I charge.
Listen, you just hit the nail on the head.
I know, girl. I know. Don't worry about that. Carry on.
Right? Or they could know. And the fact that God made these two humans, and he's omniscient, and he knew when he created Adam and Eve that they would eventually eat the knowledge of good and evil. And
No, you
instead of, like, if you had a kid, right? And you knew, you have omniscience, that if you put a gun on the counter, that kid would pick the gun up and shoot themselves in the head. And you didn't, because you had the perfect foreknowledge of this, if you don't take the gun off the counter and keep it away from the kid, and the kid does still kill themselves on accident, you're the bad guy, not the kid. The kid doesn't get punished for making a mistake because they're too ignorant to understand the implications of shooting a gun at their face. But you, an adult, the responsible one that put the gun there in the first place, you're responsible for that. You would be put in prison, and rightfully so, for being so negligent around that child. So how is it different?
Okay, I got some of that.
I didn't get all of that.
Jesus Christ.
Going
Do
in and out.
you want me to repeat
Excuses.
So just give me a second here. Hold on. Let me do it on my audio here real quick. Hold on.
Nothing has changed. The guy been sitting there for an hour or so. Yeah. That's an excuse.
In the meantime, I will quick mention that if you have a question, feel free to fire it into the live chat. I will pull those questions out, put them into a list, and then we will go over as many as we can.
So you didn't hear my question.
All right.
You want me to repeat it to you?
All right. So I'm going to address the 2-year-old question and the common question regarding about God's omniscience and how he knew these things was going to happen.
Okay, but real quick, I want to make sure you heard the question. Did you hear it okay?
I heard the question regarding the 2-year-old.
Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate it because you had audio issues.
You had two questions you're asking. You don't know how to ask one question. You asking me 2, 3, 4, 5
it's the
questions.
same exact question.
You call
So
that water hosing.
no, I'll just ask.
Water hosing when you try to ask like multiple questions when you know I'm not going to remember all of that.
No.
So how about this?
So how about I just remind you?
And I'll answer it.
Absolutely. I'll remind you of the question and then you can answer. Just that way. Yeah. Okay. So go for it. So if you leave a gun on a coffee table and a kid walks up and shoots themselves with it on accident, like 3 years old, they don't know what guns are. They've been told don't touch that gun, but they still end up touching the gun and shooting themselves with it. Is it you can't put that on the kid because they were ignorant of what guns do, right? You said if you pick that gun up You're gonna die.
I want to answer the question. I understand the question.
How
I understand the
are you any different from God in that scenario? God literally puts a gun in the middle of the
guys hear me?
garden. He puts a gun in the garden to damn.
Okay, he got it.
It's like
He got the
it's like a
question.
hell gun. It damns you to hell forever. How is that?
Sorry, let me just answer the question. Ishak Ibrahim, I'm fully vaxxed. Fully vaxxed. I've got my booster, I've got everything, and somehow still caught the virus. And my symptoms aren't too bad. So I don't need to take cocaine, don't need to take all that rubbish. I follow the science. I follow the doctor's orders. Outside of that, nothing. I don't follow anything outside of what my doctor tells me. I follow the science.
Moral.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. First of all, I want to get to the very first question regarding a 2-year-old.
That's
Nowhere
the same
in Scripture.
question.
Regarding the 2-year-old, nowhere in Scripture does it say that a 2-year-old is thrown in hell. There is something in the Old Testament
Shift it.
law,
Oh
the age of
man, this son is
accountability,
piece of shit.
in which at the age of 7, that is when a child is actually held accountable for the things that they've done.
Just give you an example, you dumbass.
That's number one. Number two, regarding your question about God's omniscience, that has nothing to do with the topic whatsoever. Tell me something.
So he did not
Who
answer
made
the two
person
questions.
Pick up the gun and shoot the person.
Who? What?
Okay, Trisha.
In my example, the kid.
Why would God create a scenario where he puts a gun somewhere so somebody can go pick up the gun and actually murder someone? Wouldn't a God who's more intelligent than that not put a gun there so that the person couldn't commit it to begin with?
Right. That's my whole point.
Let me finish. I'm
What?
not done, you moron. Let me finish. Okay.
Why do you
Who
get
made
to
the
wait?
person pick up the gun?
Why do you get to?
Who made the person pick up the gun?
G-Man, you have to just try to refrain from name calling.
Jim. I understand that, Jim. But the dude won't let me finish my statement.
But you made
This
my.
is not a debate if he's allowed to constantly interrupt me like this.
You made my
If
point.
you, I know, but if
you
you,
don't do that when Ken Hovind's on here. You don't do that when nobody else is on here. He needs to be muted. Don't tell me to stop if nobody's going to stop him.
all you have to do,
I'm
G-Man,
interrupting
is
you.
if you just say, "Hey, Jake, you're interrupting me again,"
He's
and if
been
you
doing that the whole time, Jim.
okay, all you have to do is if I don't catch it, and I'm sorry if it happened and I didn't, but all you have to do is just say, "Jake, you're interrupting me," and just keep repeating it, and the audience will see that. So, G-Man, if you want to keep moving forward with what you're saying, just want to keep this from blowing over into a total dumpster
I
fire.
can do that. Yeah. I can totally do that. But like I said, I would greatly appreciate it if I'm allowed to finish. Because if he's not
Carry on, for
finish,
fuck's
number
sake.
one, this is not a debate.
I
And
know,
number
it's just
two,
going
nobody's going to know what
on.
my position
Lobby
is.
18.
I can ask the audience right now what my position is.
Come
And if I don't
on.
get to finish, they're going to say, well, G-Man never got a chance to finish. So
He's doing the
how
Darth
are they supposed
Dawkins.
to know what I'm going to say?
The floor is yours, G-Man. Like we're
Okay,
definitely
great.
listening.
So in his hypothetical scenario, yes, God created the gun. God put it there. And his question is why would God create the gun and put it there to begin with? All right. My question is this: who
answer the question.
person to pick up the gun to shoot somebody else? It was the human being's own decision to do that. Okay, and he doesn't want to acknowledge that. That has nothing to do with the debate.
G-Man just lost there. He just fucking lost.
When we're talking about
That's
whether or not
a dishonest piece of shit.
Person A is moral versus person B, we have to talk about what they've done or have not done.
Excuse me.
All right, and what he's doing
Sorry.
is he's taking arguments that are taken out of proportion. I'm sorry, arguments for the existence of God, and is taking them out of proportion in this debate. He's not on topic. We're supposed to be discussing whether or not God is moral or not.
We are.
And again, he's ignoring my argument that I made earlier. He hasn't even addressed the fact that human beings are responsible for killing 2.3 billion people in World War II. He hasn't even come up with anything close to what God has done in the Bible.
It is an analogy, you dumb fuck.
Well, unless he approves of 2.3 people being killed.
Are we?
That's the vibe I'm getting.
He's full of shit.
Well, let's switch over to Jake.
His cranium is empty.
So,
I think that's why he's got it covered, because bullshit will come out of his fucking ears.
Sorry. You want to say something at this point?
No. At this point, he's a losing. He's a loose cannon. He's a dishonest piece of crap. Yeah. The atheist is asking a reasonable question: would a good person put something? It doesn't have to be a gun. Something. He just put it. He put drama onto it. But fucking hell, a gun is far less dangerous than complete world annihilation for your action. So, for example, he said shooting somebody himself. He should have said shooting somebody else, or shooting the sister, the sibling. Mm-hmm. What if he shoots the sibling? What's the consequence of shooting the sibling? Is then it's total human guilt. So I am guilty for that child shooting that kid. That's basically what in God's world, that is what it is. Mm-hmm. Right? Adam ate an apple, and therefore you and me are sinners. Right? What the fuck? You know what I mean? And the atheist guy is saying, why put the bad consequence there
in the first place?
Why put a trap? Why put a trap? God is a hunter, yeah. Or if he puts it there, he is willingly, knowingly putting somebody in a possibility of harm's way, and it happened. He put the trap, and the two entities fell for it, right? Who is guilty? The one who put the trap, not the one who stepped on the trap, right? The analogy of the atheist is who put the gun there, and this is it Gary Gman?
Yes,
Gman,
Gary. Yeah,
Gary. This idiot Gary, right? He is so dishonest that he cannot admit the analogy, because the analogy is a defeater for God's morality, which was the fucking subject matter.
Absolutely.
God's behavior. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Absolutely. No, don't be sorry. It's okay.
I never said anyone picked up the gun and shot somebody else. Okay?
Right.
So it was a metaphor for Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve ate the fruit and did it to themselves, not to each other, not to anyone else. This isn't Cain and Abel. We're talking about Adam and Eve. And this is an illustrative idea on how immoral God is.
Hey,
God put the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden, the gun on the coffee table. He had Adam and Eve, who didn't fully understand good and evil because they hadn't eaten of the tree yet, a child near a gun. He told them not to touch it, okay? Telling a child not to touch the gun. They still ate from it anyway because they didn't have full understanding of the implications of it. Same thing with a child that picks up a gun off a coffee table on accident. Whose fault is it if a parent has their child kill themselves with a gun on accident because the parent left the gun on the coffee table?
Right.
It's the parent's fault. In the same way that it's God's fault that they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because he made the knowledge of good and evil a fucking opt-in, like an idiot. Why wouldn't he why would the most intelligent being in the universe give the option of knowledge of good and evil and still expect them to have foreknowledge of that?
I would like to answer that.
Sure.
I'd like to answer that with a question and then a response. My question is how does God go about teaching mankind, teaching the angels rather, or showing the angels at that particular time on why mankind actually loves God? In 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, the Bible says that for this is, and pay attention, Jake, because you don't know your Bible at all.
Very lame question.
In 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, it says, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Okay? The way that we show that we love God,
I'm going to give an analogy of what he's doing. It's not even
as a way to show that mankind was going to be obedient to him.
This is enough to give me a headache.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an analogy of what this guy just did, right? He's shifting the goalposts, right? But it's not even shifting the goalposts in the same area of the goalposts. He's putting it in another fucking country. That's how far, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's putting it, if it's in the USA, he's putting it in fucking Russia, right? That's how far the goalpost is, right? He's going ballistic. Anyway, that was just there. He's just, John. What the fuck, John? We're talking about the main man, not a silly plonker that wrote something centuries later or millennia later. Really? How dumb can this guy be? or dishonest. Either he's dumb or dishonest.
This is the same person that said lying is worse than pedophilia.
Yeah.
Lying is worse than being a pedophile. God. Oh.
And that they love him. Stop lying to me that you've read the Bible, dude. I can go to evilbible.com and get the same arguments that you're using right now.
I mean, do you want to go to my YouTube channel where I have 200 episodes on reading the Bible out loud?
Yeah, and I actually have more episodes of me studying the Bible.
I mean, that's
not just reading.
That's great. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be a lie for me to say that. So anyway, studying
the Bible and reading it is two different things, sir.
Sure, man. So, so we're again.
I know it's funny.
Yeah, it's super funny because you're ignoring me. Can
you address what I just said? Though?
I don't even remember what you just said because you said about 3 different things.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3. It says, "But this is the love of God."
Yeah. Okay.
This is the love of God that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous. Mm-hmm. That's what it actually says.
Okay.
So the way that we demonstrate our love towards God. Sir, listen to me. You're not even allowing me to finish.
You already finished. I understood the question.
And this is not a debate. This is not a debate if you ain't gonna let me finish. Stop it.
I said I understood the question. I remembered the question that you asked.
Okay, so I would like for you to answer it.
I'm going to. You have to shut the fuck up. Are you ready?
Then answer the question and stop interrupting me.
You got you have to literally just not open your mouth and stop yelling, and I can.
My God.
Just so we have the question.
This guy has spoken 3 times the amount of words that I've spoken in this debate.
I think we're gonna go back and do a timer and see who talks more.
Just for the audience, G-Man, can you say the question one last time, and then we'll let Jake answer it?
3 times?
Okay.
You forgot. Like a question like, what do you think of X, Y, Z? Without because I think they have a general idea of what the setup was, but just the question that you deduced or want to use from your setup. Okay,
so my answer for that was, because he asked me why did God put the tree there to begin with, as a way to set Adam and Eve up to fail. And then this Luciferians tried to argue that God was responsible for the fall. And that's not the case. Again, in 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, the Bible says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous." The tree was put there to demonstrate that we love God every single time we decided not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And He's ignoring that. What He's doing is taking my answers and then jumping to the next question instead of dealing with what He's hearing.
I was just going to answer the question, but Jim let you ask it for the 3rd time. So, I mean, do you want me to answer the question or what?
I'm still not... I think you have can you rephrase the question for us? Frankly, I'm still, for some reason, maybe it's just because my attention is divided.
I can do it. Here's the question.
Dishonest. I agree about being dishonest. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
John,
yeah. That's for sure.
John.
It's dishonest.
John.
I'm quoting 1 John. I mentioned that.
But then again, he's been hit by a car 4 times.
I'm just making sure. So this is for Jim. Okay.
And he's still alive.
John saying that we hold up God's commandments, and that's a way we show we love Him. When He tells us to do things, we should do them to show that we worship God. No, that's not it.
Not what I said.
Jesus fucking Christ, my guy. All right, I'm just going to go forward anyway. So, would you say that John has the benefit of being of having the knowledge of good and evil?
That's irrelevant to the conversation.
It's not fucking irrelevant.
That is irrelevant.
It's 100% irrelevant
to the question.
Okay. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. So it's not irrelevant to the question because.
So you know what? This ain't a debate. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mute my microphone. I'm gonna let you talk, dude, because you're the only person that's debating here. You don't want to hear what I got to say. I'm just gonna mute.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Here we
so
go.
if you don't have the knowledge of good and evil, you don't have the
baby
to take moral actions or make moral prescriptions or worry about morality at all. If you don't understand morality, you can't enact it. You can't enact moral actions. You can accidentally do something that's moral, like help somebody. You can also accidentally do something that we consider immoral by maybe hurting somebody. But if you don't know what's moral,
that's when Gman is acting like a child.
Did
you see his hand action?
Yeah. He's a child. He's a child. He's got a child mentality.
When I saw that, I was deeply offended, honestly, because This person is trying to have a conversation with you. You just had a tantrum. You're not good, and you're there making him look like Jake is psycho. Unfortunately, Gman is the one who's looking like the psycho. You have to ask the question, what is going on in this guy's head?
Well, the main problem is that when these preachers or these Christian dudes, try to do apologetics, they know that they are on a thin path. The narrative is fixed, right? And it's been done in the ancient world, in Bronze Age, right? And there are errors in all sorts of ways, right? And this dude, with his own fucking limited intellect, right? Because he's dumb as fuck, right? Is not allowed to deviate from there, even acknowledge it, because that means his worldview will go to hell. I mean, not literally, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it will fall apart. Yes.
It will, correct. It will fall apart, right? That means apologies has to be dishonest by default. By default, there's no option, right?
And
because
they'll end up losing the whole conversation then.
Well, not in their mind, right? Because they are fixed. This is like an animal with cupped eyes. They're going straight only. They haven't got any further field of view, right? They haven't got any options, basically. Yeah, they cannot say, "Oh, Jesus, you know what? Atheist, you are right. That's a good point. You know what I mean? Let me think about that one." No, this guy is arrogant, dumb. Yeah, that he cannot deviate, and he knows it. I think he's got that little bit of knowledge, right? That this guy is calling him out, being a ignorant sod, yeah, and that's why he gets that. You know what he should? You know what, Gma? Who do you think you should call? Ghostbusters.
And the worst part is I've been checking some of his videos from 7-8 years ago. You would think that over time this guy would have learned some lessons. He would have, he would have understood these things. Gman is the same from 8 years ago. He's the same till this present day. Nothing has changed. In fact, it's even worse now.
One thing we have to have it clear.
He's threatening to go to people's houses to go find them.
One thing we have to do, right? Just a thought exercise. Okay, any of us in our current day and current understanding, will we, if we got the power, will we put those two people in harm's way, knowing our current understanding of behavior? In other words, will we put our children in that position, or will we do something better? And I can guarantee you, with 100% certainty, except dumb people, obviously, right, that will not put our kids in harm's way.
In harm's way.
That's
and
it?
another question is, so you as a parent, right? Your two children of yours do something wrong, right? Would you forgive them?
Of course.
Would you just, wipe the slate clean? Say, okay, that was a mistake. You've done it. It's done, and let's start over again.
Right.
But know that when you do things like this, there are consequences. I mean, what parent don't forgive their children?
That's the magic word. You just nail it there, right? Simple as, right? Jesus Christ and all that bollocks religion is saying we had to forgive, or we had to repent, right? Who gave the opportunity to Adam to repent? Nobody.
Nobody did.
And his consequence is my fucking fault as well. Are you for fucking real? Seriously.
No, but now, before Adam, right? Think about this. Before Adam, the first person to offend God was Lucifer, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
Well, but guess what? You think God forgave Lucifer?
He gave him a free pass. He gave him his own yard to actually do bad things.
Till this present day, God still holds a grudge. That's God's job.
He cannot control. Yeah, it's like, okay, what if we gonna put a spin on it? This is equivalent of Satan running away. Basically, God cannot control Satan, running away to somewhere else, and he makes his own fucking club, call it hell, right? Yeah, but somehow God has got access to that club, to that. It's got the passcode for that hell, right? And it's a one-way system, right? So God has got control of hell in all intents and purposes, right? So God allowed Satan to misbehave, or to misbehave. He did not rectify allegedly Satan's error. He let him set up his own fucking club, right, and let it run it. Do you think Satan is worse off? No, he got away with it. Yeah, if it exists, he got away with it, and he's having fun in planet Earth, doing his wicked things, right?
What was wicked about Lucifer? What was wicked about? I mean, imagine you're in heaven, and then everyone has to bow down to this one entity, just constant, and you think it's normal thinking, to think, okay, can he share some of that power with some of us? Can he at least, what's so special about this entity? It's natural to feel a bit of jealousy or to want to be in his shoes. But God is so, he is so what's the word? He's so he's not so sure of himself. He's so, what's the word I'm trying to find? When somebody is at the slightest of anything, you feel threatened. That's the word. He's threatened by anybody just having opposite thoughts to what he wants you to think.
But if he's threatened, that means he doesn't know the negative action, right? You are threatened of the unknown. Well, I mean, you can be threatened of the known, but if you're threatened, you make yourself weaker, or you are weaker by definition. Because if you got a superior force or superior way of solving the issue, stopping it, you don't need to be threatened. Or you should not be threatened. The mere fact that you threaten, you are inferior.
I'm telling you, he is inferior. And unstable as well. Unstable, just hopeless. So Scapegoat Iscariot says, if Afro-Humanist had Gman on her channel, he would rage quit for being muted. I'm not sure about muting him. I'll let him carry on. But I don't think I've got the patience to listen to him. I don't think I can do this. I don't.
A thing, and you don't do it, you didn't know you were doing something wrong. You didn't betray anything if you don't have the capacity to understand the thing. If you have someone that has an emotional or mental instability, and they're incapable of
read the Bible.
So he's not listening.
God.
He's interrupting now, right? You see, he's interrupting.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, go ahead and continue with your straw man, dude. That's not what I believe as a Christian. But go ahead.
It's not what you believe as a Christian. That's
not what I believe as a Christian. You're killing a straw man right now.
It's irrelevant to whether or not you believe as a Christian. I'm saying that as an objectively speaking, if someone doesn't have the
what you're saying is incorrect, and I'm gonna tell you why it's incorrect. God told Adam and Eve.
Let's just hear what if Jake can give a summary in like 2 sentences of what he was saying before we have a response from you, G-Man.
If someone doesn't have the capacity to understand morality, then it's not on them if they do something immoral.
Correct.
When they don't understand, like they don't even understand what they're doing. You can't hold them eternally accountable for something that they have no capability of grasping. Like if someone accidentally does a thing and they don't understand why that's a bad thing, they have literally, and I know it's hard to understand, it's hard to empathize with, not understanding literally any aspect of morality. They didn't in the story. They didn't have knowledge of good and evil before they ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So They couldn't possibly have this. And this is an illustration on how that makes God immoral. He chose to let them die. He chose then, after that, to everyone be born in sin. Sin, the concept of being born in sin, is an immoral action. It sets you at a negative. It sets you at a disadvantage.
Oh, you
forever.
said 2 sentences. This guy's speaking a paragraph. 2 sentences you said. Jim, I think you're being too nice here, dude. Seriously. This guy is just taking full advantage of what you're doing here. But let him keep talking, because I guarantee you the body of Christ is laughing at him right now. But go ahead.
The body of Christ? What about the rest of them?
Yeah, so let me answer you now. This is supposed to be a back and forth, dude. Yo, Jim, can we enact 10 minutes apiece, Jim? Please?
10
I want to
minutes?
enact 10 minutes apiece.
How about
If you
we
don't
do
mind.
like maybe 4 or 5 minute closing statements? Is that okay?
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, when we actually start debating, this debate didn't really start yet. I haven't heard his argument yet. All right. So regarding what I'm saying.
Okay, so but for so I will set a timer for 4 minutes for closings, then we'll go to Q&A if that's what you'd like. G-Man, Jake, are you okay with that?
That's not what I'm asking. But if you're gonna do it, then you're
To
I'm fine
whiny
with whatever
baby.
Jim wants to
10
do.
minutes
It's
is
his
just kind of
show.
long for a closing. That's all.
You wanted to talk
I
for
like
an
10 minutes.
I
Or
have no
closing,
problem with it.
Did you
closing
want to
arguments.
wait?
Or
Did you want to
closing
talk for an
statements.
uninterrupted 10 minutes? Is that what you're asking for?
This is what I want to do, Jim. I would like to answer some of the statements that he's making. See, this is what he's doing. He's doing a lot of talking. He's being allowed to go on and on and on, but I'm not allowed to answer anything. And when you go back and look at this, you're going to see what I'm talking about.
So
I never even addressed what he said about the garden. He just keep going on and on and on as if what he's saying is biblically true.
So I think that if you just say, "Hey Jake, can I interject? I want to object to something that you're saying. I want to make."
I've been doing that the whole time. This guy won't be quiet.
You've been yelling, dude.
I think
no, I'm not. I'm on my phone. This is not my laptop.
You get real emotional when you start yelling, and then you broke your mic, dude.
G-Man, would you like to have a 4 minute closing?
I don't need a 4 minute closing. I would like to correct him for what he said about the book of Genesis. He said, and I quote, that Adam and Eve didn't have the cognitive ability to determine whether or not something was right or wrong.
They did.
What I wanted to ask him, and I never got an opportunity to do this in here, was this. Did God tell Adam and Eve to not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil?
Yes, he did.
And did he tell them what the consequences was going to be?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And they didn't have the cognitive ability to understand the implications of those things according to the Bible itself.
I'm not done yet.
Sure.
So God did tell Adam and Eve that if they ate from the tree of the knowledge
he
of good
just
and
said
evil,
that.
they would
Fucker.
die, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just said that, yes.
Okay, great. Did God give them a job while they were in the Garden of Eden?
To tend the garden.
Yeah, to do what specifically?
In Genesis 1 and 2?
Yes. What was their job to do?
They had to fuck.
They had to replenish the earth.
Yeah,
and they had to name all the animals.
In simple terms.
Wow.
What does it take in order to do that kind of thing?
It certainly wouldn't engage in any morality.
Answer the question. What would it take? It begins with a T and ends with a G.
T and ends with a G.
They had to think.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say they couldn't think.
They had to name all of the animals.
Yeah.
And they had to tend to the garden. Then they had the job of populating the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Missionary sex. I agree.
Then they were given.
Sorry, let me pause so you can speak. Look up for number one.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. If I say to somebody, name animals, right? That's not a good or bad behavior. That's just a job of naming.
Yeah,
right. And taking care of animals or the land or whatever, right? That's fucking dumb. Really, really, really dumb. He did not address the question of God responsibility, right? Or accountability, right? This guy comes, they told him how to think. That's a matter. Think of names. Thinking of name is not a behavior. Dishonest. It's dishonest.
Let me tell you, Gman is the representative of the Bible. The Bible is dishonest.
Yeah.
The Bible is dishonest. The Bible stories do not make sense. Many of them they've been debunked. These things didn't happen. And listen, in trying to justify the stories of the Bible, you make yourself dishonest because you're trying to justify a dishonest book. I don't care how many degrees you have, how many theology seminary schools you go to. In trying to justify the Bible, you can go up, down, however much you try.
You know
will
what?
always be a dishonest person.
The text. That's a good point. When somebody says here, where was it? Scroll
Which one?
down. From JG.
JG?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Right? Can you find out where he says? Because he doesn't say K. It starts with an A. It starts with a T and ends with a
G. Or that's what he said.
He did not say K. I think. Oh, he said thinking. I said thinking, not think.
Does he think? Does he think?
Oh. No, he doesn't know what thinking is.
He doesn't.
Sure, man.
Okay. Then they were given a law. Okay, and the law was that they can eat from any of the trees in the garden, but if they ate from the one in the middle, that they would surely die. What do you call that?
What do you mean? What do I call that?
What do you call that?
I mean, there's lots of things.
I mean, you've been sitting here mocking me and laughing at me all day and whatnot without me actually responding. What do you call that?
What do I call what? What aspect of it that you're asking me?
What do you call God telling Adam and Eve that they can eat from any of the trees in the garden, but the one in the midst they couldn't eat? What do you call that?
The mist. Do you want me to say commandment?
An instruction.
Yeah, he gave them
order.
Commandments.
Sure.
Okay, and according to you, they didn't understand the commandment.
No, I think they understood it.
Eve herself, wait a minute, hold on a minute. But Eve herself told the serpent in Genesis chapter 3 that in the day that they ate from that tree, that they would surely die.
Yep.
They had some concept of what that word actually meant. All right. So where are you getting this nonsense, sir, saying that they didn't know right from wrong in the Garden of Eden?
So what was the purpose of eating of the knowledge of good and evil then?
Again,
did God lie? Did God lie about what the fruit was?
Let me answer this, okay? When they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they disobeyed God. We see from the totality of Scripture that when you disobey God, it creates distance between us and God. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1, it talks about being spiritually dead, being apart from God, how our sin separates us from God.
Sure.
When Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they were separated from God.
Can I ask you
they didn't have that relationship no more.
Can I ask you?
Spiritual death occurred during that particular time.
Okay.
So, sir, all of the information that you have been giving people regarding the Garden of Eden.
Ask you a question about that?
So, just to make sure that we have a interchange from both sides, because we have limited time yet. If Jake wants to give a response, and then we'll go to Q&A pretty quick.
I wasn't finished.
You're not finished?
Just go ahead and do what you're going to do. I'm certainly going to be responding to this, but go ahead.
Okay, so do you think that Adam and Eve have the knowledge of the scriptures of Ephesians and any biblical scripture whatsoever? Do you think that they
I really think you're creating a straw man, and
No, I'm not. So listen to me. So do you think that from a religious perspective, do you think that Adam and Eve had the philosophical know-how, the philosophical wherewithal that the later prophets in your Bible had at the same time? Like, do you think Adam and Eve were as well equipped to answer these types of questions before they ate of the knowledge of good of the tree of knowledge? Like, do you think they did?
That you're bombarding me with a million questions.
That's one question.
This is the answer to the question. Okay, listen to me, Jake.
I'm listening, man. I just wish you would answer a question. You dodge, man. Because
dude, shut up and let me answer your question.
Gman,
he's so fucking mad, dude. Like, just answer the question that I asked.
I'm not mad. I just want to be able to
I'm not mad. All right, says the mad guy on the internet. How about
Gman,
answer the question?
Like, man, I know, I appreciate your passion, but it's like, like just, G-Man, are you trolling me? Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, are you just fucking in here like memeing? Like,
okay,
is this a joke?
Just okay, well, just 1 second, G-Man.
This is supposed to be a serious conversation. I mean, this person, modern day debate, he does his debates, and you see people come online. They don't come shouting. They don't come behaving like this.
I saw one of the debates. I saw one of the shit shows where Gman came along, and on the presentation, he said that he needed to answer questions from the public. He says no. And remember, these presenters make money out of. Yeah, okay. So this arrogant son of a gun, right? He says no. I don't want to answer a question from people.
Questions from the public.
That he did not get the concept of doing a show. This guy makes his money with super chats.
The people, and I think that particular live stream was dedicated to any super chat they got in that show was going to charity.
Can you imagine? But even worse. I didn't get that.
Even then, Gman, he refused. Why? I think because the people he's got contract videos against were in the chat. I don't know. I don't know. You've been doing this.
He's disrespectful for the moderator.
I know. I mean, there's no way I can have a conversation with him. No. I can't do it. I just can't.
It's not constructive. No, it's a waste of time.
Not at all.
I know you're trolling me, G-Man.
I don't think he is. This is how he is every time I talk to him.
It's just
it's so upset. Like don't answer the. Why don't you answer the question? Do you think?
It's like, hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to. Okay.
Jim, you have the reputation, Jim, of being fair on this show. You know that? I can promise you this. Nobody's going to be saying that today.
G-Man, I'm
sure. The only person that's been talking on here has been him.
G-Man, listen.
All right.
You're interrupting me and you're laughing, and now you're saying I'm trolling?
I have a question.
No, G-Man, listen. It's just that I don't see why you're getting so mad. It's like.
Number one, I'm not getting mad. I think my volume might be turned up a little bit too high, and you might be taking some things out of context. I think that's what's going on. And I think number two,
okay, now they're taking things out of context. Oh, here we go.
But he's asking me questions, and I'm trying to answer them. Yeah, I might be a little long-winded, but I'm trying to answer the question. And you have not allowed me to do that today.
I have a question. I have a question for G-Man. Are you willing to bet $100 that you spoke less than I did today?
I'm willing to bet. Let me see how much I got on me. I'm willing to bet $800 that I was not allowed to finish a statement today.
All right, if
that's what I'm willing to bet.
All right,
and sir.
Here we go.
But wait a minute. I got a clarifier on that.
Oh,
okay,
man,
you have to delete your YouTube channel if I can prove I was not allowed to finish a statement.
Wait, for $800?
No, I'm serious. I want you to delete I want you to agree in public to delete your YouTube channel when I go review this later. That you dominated this conversation, and I was not allowed to say to really say anything in this.
To really say anything?
I want you to agree to delete your YouTube channel, so I can prove the atheists are liars, like I've been saying for the longest. All you're doing right now is now listen to me. The debate is over.
Answer the question, bitch.
Sure. But the bottom line is, all you're doing right now is proving how immoral the atheist community is, because you guys like to ask questions, but you don't want to hear the answers.
Just answer the fucking question.
Tomorrow, the atheist community is.
I will delete.
Delete his channel. Why? What for?
No, you will delete your Jake and Hugo channel, or the one that got 135,000 subscribers. That one I want deleted if I can prove that you did not allow me to finish a statement in here.
Wait. He wants this man to delete a channel that's got 100 and something thousand subscribers just because of
he thinks he was not interrupted. He thinks it was interrupted. But the question of the atheist was the different one. How long he took to talk?
Was if you talked more than me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
No, but what's the name of that guy? Bill? Yeah. His question was, he's willing to do the bet in relation to time spoken, the amount of time that it was speaking. And yes, Gman did the more time, right? It was just more rambling than anything like that. But then he's shifting the question by saying if he was not allowed to answer X, Y, Z, when he's actually right now showing that he's not willing to answer the question, but instead of mumbling away for whatever reason, wasting time.
It's terrible. This is childlike. This is like a child,
for sure,
having tantrums when they cannot get their way. Crazy.
Would like for you to agree to it because you know you're lying. Agree to it.
So do you think I talked more than you today?
No, this is what I think. I think that you asked me questions and you was never really interested in my answers. And when I tried to answer it, you and the moderator was stopping me mid-sentence from me making my sentence.
Okay,
so let's try this again now. Agree to delete your YouTube channel if I can prove it.
Come on, man.
Do you think you talked more than me though?
This is what I believe. I believe that I came on this show to debate whether or not man was more moral than God. Okay? And I came on this show and you have talked about everything but the actual topic.
He cannot hold his own.
I find y'all proving that you're not an atheist, that you're a Luciferian.
No,
I don't even know what a Luciferian is, do you? You don't know what a Luciferian is.
Is it a theistic or atheistic Luciferian?
No, a Luciferian is somebody who believes that the devil was in the right in the Garden of Eden and believe that God was in the wrong for putting the tree there, for having the tree there to begin with. You argue like a Luciferian for Luciferianism today, and you failed today to show how God is immoral and man is somehow more moral.
I don't think Satan exists either. But
yes, you do. You just suppress the truth and unrighteousness.
Oh, all right. I mean, or maybe I'm telling the truth, and I don't believe in the thing I don't believe in. Okay, all right. I think you're lying, and you don't believe in Jesus.
Okay, we're gonna.
What's the point? What's the point, man?
So just to move into the Q&A pretty darn quick.
What's the point of that?
So we will move into the, forgive me, I'm so sorry, guys. Just to respect your time as well, though, we will move into the Q&A. I know that there's more to be said.
No, I'm happy with the Q&A. That's great.
I'm sorry about that. So we will jump in. And by the way, want to let everybody know, we mentioned at the start of the stream, 100% of the super chats are going to go to Alzheimer's research for a cure. And if you want to see the receipt, by the way, email me. Even if it's your first time at the channel, you're like, that's kind of sketchy. Like, how do I know you're really donating it? I'm honestly happy to send you the receipt for our donations. Just shoot me an email. Doesn't matter to me who you are. I'll send the receipt to anybody. I'm going to send it to the debaters just for record keeping. But I'm happy to send it to anybody. So that way you guys know that it's for real. So with that, thanks so much. We had a lot of great questions, and super chats will just have the kind of standard deal where a speaker can reply. Steven Steen, thanks for your super chat. He says, James calls me late at night. I'm married, James. That's true. I forgot that Steven's on the Eastern time zone, so I called him at 10:30 the other night. Sorry about that, Steven. And Stupid Whore Energy, thanks for your
Stupid Whore Energy.
Thanks for your super chat. And she says, does God being above the law make him an outlaw that can kill people for trying to prevent accidents? And then she says, 1 Chronicles 13, 9 through 12. So Gman, you have a chance to respond to that if you'd like.
No, I'm not going to answer no questions today.
Oh, here we go.
I will.
See?
Here we go. Oh my!
Just to move. I mean, it's okay if you want to read it.
Oh my God! This is crazy. This is just crazy. If you see most of Gman's debates usually end up this way. In fact, I've seen debates where he actually leaves. He leaves. He doesn't even come back. Someone's taking their time to ask questions of the debaters, and he just wouldn't answer the question.
He's not respecting somebody that has paid and this Gman hasn't got the fucking enough manhood to respect that payment, right? To respond. No, he's an arrogant son of a gun. He said, no, I'm not going to respond. My ego is the size of a fucking peanut.
Crazy. And now Jake says, I'll answer the question. He's kind enough to.
Yeah, but just to move through as many questions as we can.
Sure, I'll read it. Was it First Chronicles 1 through chapter 1?
13, 9 through 12. I might have said it wrong.
Chapter 13. Oh, I think I just got it wrong. Chapter 13.
13, 9 through 12. I'll pull it up.
13,
so it says,
9. I can read
and
it.
When they came to the threshing floor of Chidon, Uzzah put out his hand to take hold of the ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and he struck him down because he put out his hand to the ark, and he died there before God. And David was angry because the Lord had spoken out against Uzzah, and that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of God that day, and he said, how can I bring the ark of God home to me? So thanks for that super chat and donation to Alzheimer's research, Sarah, or I should say, Stupid Horror Energy. That's her name, by the way. She, we appreciate that. Next up, forgive me, a little scattered. Stupid Horror Energy, thanks for your other donation. She said, whoever looks at a woman, so she's quoting Matthew 5:28. She says,
so look out for number one. The people who are asking these questions have sent in super chats, right? These are the people supporting the channel. Okay, so all of this goes to
no, not also the channel, the charity. He's doing it for a cause, for a good cause, and this Christian piece of shit is not going with it with the show. Seriously,
I mean, look at him. Look at his body language. Just have a look at his body language.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Like, he's not in this conversation anymore. He's done.
No. It's just
whoever looks at a woman to lust
just an
after
ornament.
her has committed adultery with her already in his heart. And then she says, how does this verse not inspire misogyny? So, G-Man, if you want to reply, you can.
No, I'm not going to answer it.
Oh God.
Okay, so that makes women sex objects. It implies that the only time you would look at a woman is to consider a sexual act with that woman, and that obviously demeans women and is misogynistic. Yes.
And G-Man, no response. Okay. I'm all right, G-Man. So Brian G, thanks for your super chat. He says, here's to the hurricane victims that God of the Bible couldn't or refused to save. So G-Man, any response?
No, I'm not going to respond to none of that.
Surely there's pious people in the path of the hurricane that wouldn't necessarily deserve to be killed by drowning or flooding or have their possessions destroyed.
Actually, Jim, I'd like to make a statement, though, Jim.
Okay, we go. What's he about to say?
Well, I mean, we're kind of in the Q&A, like, and the people, like, are hoping to have a response.
Because, you and I are Christians, okay? And they're having a lot of fun talking about the God that I worship. But I got to say this. God didn't cost me my job, and God certainly didn't throw me out in the street. That happened by a bunch of atheists. Just want to put that out there. You can continue. Go ahead.
Those atheists can be bags of shit if you didn't deserve
that. That was atheists that did that. Atheists even mocked them, ridiculed them in public. Atheists believe that. Atheists are the ones going in our schools shooting people. Atheists are the ones that are responsible for the deaths of 100 million people.
Okay, G-Man. If you're G-Man, if you're not going to respond to any of the questions, we're not going to have statements right now. So next up, thanks for your super chat donation to Alzheimer's research. Totally appreciate Josiah Hansen.
That's ridiculous.
He said, I was having a bad day, and thanks for that donation. We're glad that this seemed to cheer you up. Stupid Horror Energy, she says, why does Jesus call a woman a dog in Matthew 15?
Good question.
Ooh, we just read that in the Bible study.
Yeah, Jesus.
G-Man?
Jesus was being a horrible person.
Because she's poor?
Yeah. Next up, Brian G asks, gives a donation. He said, G-Man definitely was not mad today, in bold letters. True. And G-Man, no response, I'm guessing.
Gman won.
Club,
Gman won the
Adam
debate.
from Think Club, thanks for your super chat donation to Alzheimer's research. He says, let G-Man finish his argument. G-Man, do you want to finish your argument?
No, I don't want to say nothing because I'm so going to use this against them later. But that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Gotcha.
I'm the moderator on several YouTube channels. I'll get them later.
Gotcha.
Empty threats.
You guys are laughing. But
I'm laughing.
During the so-called debate in here, I was asked questions and I was not allowed to answer them. And now you're expecting me to answer questions from people in the audience so I can be interrupted in the middle of it to answer their questions. Are you serious? Go ahead.
Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad, but I'm certainly going to go on my YouTube channel and have something to say about this. But go ahead.
Hey,
gotcha. Next up, thanks for your donation, ST. Appreciate that. I'm trying to avoid the ones that look like they're in any way like digs at the debaters because we appreciate them coming on for free. And Drew Nichols, Modern Day Debate, thanks for your kind words. He says, Drew says, Modern Day Debate is a gem of a channel. That means a lot, Drew. He says, more Jake, less G-Man. So G-Man, my guess is you don't want to respond to that. Gotcha. Shannon Q.
There's
Q-face.
There's more of me anyway. G-Man's in better shape.
You've both got tremendous physiques.
Someone clip that, please. That was the best.
So Shannon Q, thanks for your super chat donation to Alzheimer's research. She said, just because I want to donate. That's very sweet. Shannon, or Q-face, as she likes to be called. Shannon Q. Alan Michael, thanks for your super chat donation. Let's see. Oh, it was kind of like you were saying he was enjoying the debate. It's just kind of bordering on a dig. Let's see. I'm sorry, G-Man. We should treat each other well. Brian Stevens, thanks for that donation. I think he's trying to show you love, G-Man.
Oh, I'll respond to that. Check out my YouTube channel when this is over with. I'm going to show you what I think about what you just said. That's it.
Gotcha. Rowan Yates, thanks for your super chat donation to Alzheimer's research. G-Man, he says, G-Man, you know that the Nazis primarily identified as Christian, right?
No, I know that the Nazis were occultists and probably atheistic in their beliefs. But I'll probably laugh at that too, even though I can prove it.
Gotcha. Next up, let's see. I think that I might have made a mistake in the sense that I feel like part of, I know that G-Man, it was a little bit frustrating tonight, is that G-Man, if I am remembering this and I'm so sorry, I have to apologize in like just right now. If it is the case that there was a discrepancy in what I had explained to you guys for format of the debate. So in other words, if you didn't expect an open discussion, that was my fault.
Well,
and
I
sincerely
did ask
sorry.
him at the beginning if that was okay.
Okay.
He said yes. So
gotcha.
not on you.
I know this.
Somebody's tweeting his fucking
Erica Roldan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I think that would just be the massive disrespect on those gentlemen. Dr. Kip, Dr. Bowen, and Derek. I'm actually a moderator on Myth Vision. No. That's just out of G-Man's league. He no, you can't. Those men deserve better. Come on now.
You cannot lower the bar that fucking low. You know what I mean? We're talking about yay big from the ground.
No, he's just no. Mm-mm.
I know this. This is the last day I'm debating the comedians here on YouTube. If nobody wants to take these conversations seriously, they won't get to talk to me no more. And this guy's a comedian. He's not an intellectual. I want to talk to an intellectual.
Wait a second. Are you making a base judgment based on my
Sir,
ridiculous?
You just wait until I go on my YouTube channel. You haven't heard me say nothing yet. I think you're a joke. That's what I think.
Okay,
well, I'm funny.
When I can speak uninterrupted. Trust me.
Why would you speak uninterrupted on a format where you agreed to be interrupted?
You asked me several questions and you never let me answer them.
I'll let you answer whatever you want. You can come on my channel anytime. I'm a little bit bigger. If you want some exposure every once in a while.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
An opportunity to interrupt you and be able to answer this. I would like an opportunity to interrupt you and answer this.
Sure, you can come on whenever you want, man.
The bottom line is that I was asked several questions.
At Papa Bird Jake on Twitter.
Jake, just to prove it, Jake, give me the 5 answers I gave you in this. Because you asked me about 20 questions in here.
Sure.
Give me 5 answers I gave you in here, word for word.
I'm not gonna do that. We're doing Q&A, dog.
Of course you can't do that because you don't know what I said.
Why would
Jima, you're not respecting the moderation.
They've been having a conversation for the last hour.
Yeah.
And he wants him to
Are we doing
repeat
hurricane relief or Alzheimer's?
what he said word for word.
I'll tell you what he told me in my text. I know what I have on my phone. I know what's said on my phone.
Yeah.
And I know what I requested. This is not what I requested.
But then I asked you if it was okay if
I'm going to show that.
Okay.
I assure you of that.
And then I mean, just play the clip where I said, "Hey, is it okay if we have more of a conversation and interrupt each other?" And you said yes.
My issue is you did not allow me to answer no questions. You just talk and talk and talk and talk. And when I tried to clarify my statement or tried to try to answer your question, you say you don't want to be preached to. You don't want to hear this and you don't want to hear that.
It was the
dude. Why ask me a question? Why ask me a question if you don't want an answer?
Okay, well, but to be fair, like I did give you a chance to explain it. Remember when I said I was like, all right, let's give Gman a chance. I told Jake, I said, let's give Gman a chance just for the sake of the audience to be able to hear the genesis.
And then when I tried to finish, you interrupted me without even allowing me to finish. You saying I was talking too loud. My volume has been turned up loud by you guys. That's the issue with your channel, not with me.
We can't toggle your
all right, let's move on to we appreciate your donations. Paul Christensen, thanks for your donation. He said, what is the question you most wanted Jake to answer, G-Man? This is the best forum for it, not slam vids later.
Well, again, I wanted his basis for morality, and I wanted to talk about it. But again, he dominated the conversation. I never really got to ask my questions. But don't worry, I'll have plenty of time to do that later.
I can answer my basis of morality.
You don't have a basis for your morality to judge anybody. What is a basis for your morality as an evolutionist?
I mean, you can frame it however you like, but I think the basis of morality is what helps what helps me and people around me have better lives, because we're only here for a finite amount of time. And
that's not a basis for morality.
It's definitely my basis for morality. Whether or not you find it valid is irrelevant.
Right? His basis for morality. He's just told you his basis.
So do you think? Do you think you can only have? I don't want to have.
Okay, look out for number one. I can't. This is
silly.
You know why?
It is. Go to your home and blow your head off. Am I wrong for doing that?
You in a video game, you want that. Otherwise,
no. I'm serious.
You're gonna
serious. In my own world, I want to go to your house and I want to blow your head off. How am I wrong for saying it?
Am I being threatened?
Oh gosh.
No, I'm not. Answer the question, you moron.
Okay, G-Man, seriously,
that's
that's
TOS, man.
You refuse to answer questions from the audience. And you're calling the other person a moron. Like, seriously, I'm honestly...
You called me a C word earlier. You didn't say nothing there.
What?
No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not.
If I remember, G-Man, you asked him what the standard of his morality was.
That was my commandment.
To put it
in... He used a C word to describe it.
I said,
Yeah, frankly, G-Man, if you want to swear all you want, I don't care if you swear.
I don't swear. I didn't say
Shut up.
Like
I never said that you did.
Wait a minute. You got a problem with me calling him a moron? You're okay with him calling me the C word?
I didn't call you.
He didn't call you the C word. He was saying.
You did.
I didn't do it either. Like
nobody about the commandments.
Okay, don't worry about it. When you go watch this again later, contact me. Make sure you call me on the phone.
Yeah, sure, man.
Call me on the
phone.
On
Twitch. They can clip it right now.
I'm very good about finding those things and letting people hear it for themselves.
G-Man, you basically asked him what his standard for morality was, and he put it in a very succinct way by saying,
"Don't be a C word.
Don't be a C word."
You don't have to say it.
You didn't say G-Man is a cunt. No,
I didn't call you that. I said what? No,
he said that's just what
if I frame it like this? Thou shalt.
But you want to know what though?
Thou shalt.
I said it's all good. I have a computer just like you guys. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, so
thou
not listening.
shalt not be a cunt.
Let's
That's
see.
That's the whole
See,
thing.
he did it again, but I can't call him a moron.
But I'm not
Like,
calling you.
He's not calling you. It's like he's just saying it as a standard of morality.
All right.
So
all right,
next,
all right.
we're gonna fly through as many questions as we can. ST, thanks for your donation. They said, G-Man, what is your source for 2 billion dead in World War II? I guess you don't have a response.
He can Google it.
YTTTFG, thanks for your donation. They said, if Adam and Eve had free will and the serpent tricked him, how did they have free will with a distorted worldview if tricked means to distort worldview?
I don't understand the question, and I don't get the relevancy of the actual topic.
Next, Drew Nichols, thanks for your super chat. He said,
Just
G-Man, is it possible you could be wrong about the
donation.
existence of God?
I
You
know.
believe it?
No, it's not possible for me to be wrong about the existence of God, but it's definitely possible for me to be wrong that atheists are decent people.
Okay,
Because I don't believe they are.
That's fine. So I have I figured out how he got that number. World War II was the deadliest military conflict in history. An estimated total of 70 to 85 million people perished, which was about 3% of the 1940 world population. In 1940, the world population was 2.3 billion people.
That's not how I got my information.
Oh gosh!
But-
and you
okay,
were asked
So
to
you think that
supply
everybody that
how
exists
you
died
got
in
the
World War II?
information, and then you turn around
That
and
is
say,
not how I got my information.
But that
You
was
know
the
what,
world
guys?
population. The world population
look
was
out for
That is
number
not how
one.
I got my information.
Look out for number one. I think we've done this
Yeah, we got the
video
gift. Yeah.
justice,
There's too much.
because this is this can
This is
make-
beyond stupidity.
Yes, it is brain numbing. No. Goodness gracious me. Whew. Any last words? Look out for number one. My goodness.
No, I can't think at this time. I've just been.
He said it all. I think just to round up, look out for number one. The question was asked about, can man or humans be more moral than God, and specifically the God of the Bible? So what are your thoughts? That's it, and we round
Right.
up.
We basically it's behavior. Right. Forget morality because it's a biblical concept. Moral here, moral there. Right. So let's use behavior. Right. Yes, people behave in different ways for sure. Right. But people tend to behave the same way in a society, to get along, and the behavior is, in normal sense, a good behavior, right? That's how you prosper. You prefer good things than bad things to us, because otherwise you would not prosper. Or and sure, there's been people like Hitler or other people doing bad things for whatever reason, right? But the majority of the good people have interact into that to stop him. To stop the bad people. There's been consequences. There's been people die as a consequence, but the better part of it has been fixed in the sense that the good people will move forward, right? Now, we as humans recognize that we may not be completely correct in certain ways. That's fine, right? But now we are saying, G-Man, what about your fucking God? The actions that allegedly he did, does it warrant worship? Does it warrant acceptance of being morally good? In other words, good behavior towards the human race, where along the OT, he's always instigated wrongdoing, or i.e. evil, right? Or however we want to call it, right? He instigated that humans behave that way. Right, he cannot do it. He had to do other people, make other people do his bad bidding, which is immoral, in my opinion. Right, he cannot fix his fucking problem in the first place. Then he has to instigate wrongdoings. That's cheesy. That's lame. Right, that's a bad designer. Yeah, that's like saying a computer programmer making a game and blaming the characters of the game for the actions. What the fuck? Really? It's the designer's problem.
Exactly.
Not the people in the software, or not the people in real life, however you want to fucking sugarcoat it, right? Yeah, and that's it. It's as simple as that. But this guy that's got only two neurons, right? He cannot even get his shit together. Talking about Gman, right? And he's fixated to his own bullshit that he had to be deceptive. He had to be rude to enforce his because talking louder means he's more right. No, it's just showing that he's an idiot. Anyway, I think that would summarize what I'm trying to say. But
just to add to what you were saying about a manufacturer, when you manufacture, and my thoughts are, when you manufacture something and it malfunctions, right? Say there's a malfunction with this thing. What do? Do you not have some places we call it a product recall, right? We take it back into the workshop, and we go and start all over again. Take it apart and try and rectify what's gone wrong, right? So you create humans,
right,
this God.
I'll tell you something. I'm a lorry driver and I provide service to the construction industry. I bring machines to sites, right? Now, for me to bring my vehicle with another vehicle at the back of my lorry, I need training. Yeah, I need to be briefed on site about health and safety hazards. I've got tickets that provide that I'm safe enough to do the job in the best possible way. I've got briefings from the site manager how to proceed on site, where to take my stuff and where they want to offload it, right? So we as humans have put safety systems of measure, right, that protect the activity we do inside of a site. God has, or this alleged God has not put that into practice, right? He just fucking made something, failed, and he's trying to rectify it 2,000 years later. We're putting a shitty human from a virgin and all that bollocks that comes along, right? So he's fixing the problem he's fixing the problem as he goes. Instead of, that means he's not fucking knowledgeable. He's not knowledgeable. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? And we humans are able to make procedures for our safety, right? For example, the parent, the analogy what he did about the gun, yeah, he would put means on practice whereby putting the gun there will say to the kids, listen, well, not the gun there, but put it in a somewhere. So listen, this is a gun. This is not to be touched, right? And I got the lock or whatever. Do not fucking touch it. And put the place, put CCTV security, put all sorts of fucking things, safety measures, whereby these children, Adam and Eve, do not interfere with the bad thing that I put there, right? Or better still, don't put it there, which is the whole fucking point. Do not put anything in harm's way, especially to two people that haven't got enough experience of wrongdoing, right? You need to know what wrong is, right? By experience, not by telling you, because you might not believe it, or you might not have the intellectual capacity to reason, right? Remember, these were made a couple of days.
Exactly. And what's maybe a couple of hours? It doesn't tell us. A couple of hours.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, but it's not a year. It's not a year.
No. And to think that Adam and Eve, their sin, well, I don't consider eating a fruit a sin. I don't. What was the big deal about putting that fruit in their mouth? Is it because the tree was made? What did they call the tree? The tree of life and whatever they call that tree, But for some reason, I am paying the price of these two people. I'm a flawed human now because these two people ate a fruit. Does that make any sense? In fact, forget me now. A baby is born, brand new baby, cute and all. When babies are born, you see how gorgeous they look. My son was 9 years old when I told him, I said, babies, when they're born, according to the Christians, that baby is a sinner. straight after that, the baby comes out of its mother's womb, straight away, that baby is already flawed, a condemned human being if they do not receive Jesus Christ into their lives. It's sickening, the Christian doctrines and how
not
people.
so that you can be forgiven if you repent at the end of your age, at the end of your in your deathbed, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, receive me, I've sinned. So it's irrelevant. He's passed, literally. Is irrelevant. So it depends who spins it, because a Calvinist would say, no, you have to be chosen. So different ramification of Christianity points to different direction of doctrine. So they cannot even get the shit together anyway. So it's a mess.
It is a mess. And guys, we would do more Gman videos and just videos talking. The videos I particularly like of Gman are the videos that when he's in conversation with other Christians and they disagree on doctrines. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that, because it just goes to show the joke that Christianity is. These Christians cannot agree on one single thing. I love it, because by themselves they show you what the religion is all about and why anybody shouldn't take their religion seriously at all. So the next video I would do of Gman is Gman in conversation with another Christian, Bible thumping. Wait, what do they call? Is it Bible thumping Wingnut? I think that's his name. What he's called.
That's an idiot. Yeah, that's an old story.
I have no idea. I've never seen anything.
He's a priest as well.
Bible thumping Wingnut. I don't know anything about the man, but I saw this video of himself and Gman, and let me tell you, I thought, wow, two Christians, they can't agree on. It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch. Okay, guys, that's it. We need to call it a day. We've been here for 2 hours and 35 minutes, and there's only so much Gman we can take for one day. And someone said in the chat, do not ever go full Gman. Do not ever go full Gman. In fact, Gman's had his channel deleted off YouTube. One of his channels terminated, because I think, it's only so far you can go. It's only with this kind of attitude and mannerisms. There's only so far you can go. You become a nuisance eventually, and people they've had enough. There's only so much you can do to people or say to people. Now Gman is threatening to go to people's houses. He's been threatening lawsuits because people talk about the videos he puts online. He wants to take people to court, threatening lawsuits, and he thinks that people owe him just for talking about his videos. Oh my goodness. Guys, I really thank you all for coming and listening to myself, and look up for number one. Did you put your link in the chat? Please put your link quickly before we
No, I haven't,
go.
but
someone did. Moderators, if you have who was it? One of the moderators put your link in the chat.
That's fine. So good.
I can see Dr. Cyrus Ishak Ibrahim going on about chloroquine and all that jazz.
I'll tell you something about that. Not about that per se, because I haven't got a freaking clue about it. Let me tell you something. I haven't been vaccinated.
Look out for number one. Do you want to carry on? And I will be back in 1 minute. Okay, you can carry on speaking. Okay, you haven't been vaccinated.
No boosters, no nothing. I haven't caught it or nothing. Zero. Okay. Zilch. I'm not saying that I'm immune. I'm saying I'm careful. Right? And that proves the point. Anyway, carry on.
Sorry. No, carry on. Carry on. Look out for number one. You carry on. I'll be back in a minute.
I'll be back.
I shall be back in a minute.
Yeah, go. Right, so yeah, my channel, no big deal. My channel is paste this one. There you are. Oops, that's not the one. This one, copy. This one here. Can't even copy my own fucking channel. Oh, that's why. That doesn't help. My channel. Where's my channel? Oops. Gentlemen, relax. I try to do this way. My channel. Oh, there you are. Copy. It's for all you infidels. Right. That's it. All good. Yo, so yes, I haven't been vaccinated. I'm not interested in it. At the beginning, when here in the UK, some nurses were vaccinated and died a few weeks later as a consequence. Right? There've been many variants about that. I blame the government for not closing the country down and getting a hold of grip of things, and because we want to party, we want to do this, we want to do that. So what do you mean, where's everybody from? Yeah, you're in the USA. I'm from the United Kingdom. North Carolina. God damn. Aruba. That's nice. On the beach. Really? Oh, man, come on.
Sorry.
Okay, on the beach.
Sorry, I had to take a quick 2-minute break.
Ox lives in a beach. Really? Yeah, right from home. Oh, man, let me go to the beach.
Who's in the beach?
Oh, well, not on the beach. He lives in Wilmington. On the beach. On the beach. Aussie, Ox.
Ox. Where?
Yeah, in the chat. 1, 2, 3. Third last chat.
Wilmington on the beach. Okay.
Nice. That's cool.
Aruba. Oh, nice. Trisha Star is in Aruba. Oh, nice. I'm in Liverpool, the good part. Yes, that's the good part. Believe it or not. Liverpool.
Oh, so Doctor is one of us.
Oh, yes, he is. Dr. Cyrus. Dr. Cyrus is one of us. Yeah. My brother used to vacation in Aruba every year. He stopped going to the resorts and would stay with the locals. Oh, nice. New York. Who's in New York? Denisha. New York City. need to be on the beach as well. Listen, we could all go. We could all go. We could all go. I'll tell you another
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine 10, 15, 20 or 100 of us? Yeah.
That would
Atheists.
be nice.
Oh, that would be totally cool. Atheist warriors.
The last time I did a video, someone said atheism is a cult. He said atheists, they gather once a year to fight God. Is that not? That's what he said, isn't it? That atheists gather once a year and they have these conferences, and the idea behind the conferences is to fight God. I'm thinking, atheists gather to fight God. So maybe we can have a meeting of atheists to go and not fight God. You can't fight something that don't exist, can you?
Right.
Okay. Danisha, oh my goodness. No. I love Danisha too much. No. I love Danisha too much. No. Danisha, you do know Gman. I think he comes to New York, I think, to do his Gman goes doing his proselytizing on the streets. Interesting. Yes, someone said atheism. In fact, Gman has made that claim as well, that atheism is a cult. Oh, Gman has said all sorts about atheists. It's just butthurt. That's what it is.
Yep.
I think in a lot of this is my opinion. This is my opinion now. I think that a lot of believers struggle to be believers. Because when you worship a God that expects 100% service, obedience, right? And you can't fulfill that bar. That bar is set so high by this God, and no matter how hard you try, you just cannot meet the God's his expectations, right? Then while you're struggling, another group of people, they don't even acknowledge, they don't even care, they're not even bothered, they're just living their best life. And here you are struggling to attain perfection with your God. That's impossible. So I mean, how would that make them feel? There's no way. If I was them, I would feel butthurt too, because how can you guys just be living your best life? You haven't got a God dictating your every move and telling you what to do, what not to do. You haven't got to live by this old book, So I think it must be a hard life, right?
Yeah, actually, is the preacher who is a preacher who molds the Christian requirement, basically, because the book has been written in such a vague way that people with some sort of intellect, Christian apologetic, are capable of not deceiving but misinterpret or shape the way he wants to go. Right, he wants his 10% plus 2 times a week to put the pass a plate, for example. Yeah, the other one says we have to renovate this, so I want $1 million and things like that, right? So, and the problem that I have not just about the belief system and the financial issue behind it is more of the people's gullibility, because it is a book of hope. Right, it's of the alleged afterlife. So there's a set of rules says if you behave in an X way, which is the way of the preacher, you get a end result, not even a current result, an end result. Right, that it could be wrong. Right, so everybody's doing, or the gullible is going by the Pascal wager. Basically, shit. I better believe this just in case. I better give my money away just in case. You know what I mean? I better feed the man to buy his jet just in case. You know, shit like that, right? And no, it's nasty. It's nasty.
I think what I would love to do, I would love to have a live stream where we go over the like philosophical arguments that between theists and atheists. You just mentioned one of them, Pascal's wager. Those sorts of things. I would love to delve a bit deeper into those kind of arguments, because I hear people talk about them, but I'm not 100%. I couldn't possibly come here and come and tell you about Pascal's wager. I know about it.
No, but they won't tell you that way. The way they will tell you is ground rules. They will say, listen, you better believe because the consequences is hell. In other words, the terminology is Pascal's wager, right? But they will not say it that way. That's a philosophical term, right? But down to earth will say, no, you better not fuck up because the consequences is eternal damnation. That's a big deal, right? Because people will say, fucking hell, 50 years, 80 years of life existence versus eternity. It is a deal. It's a good deal to have that type of fear factor. Yeah. So I better be the way the preacher is saying that I need to be. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem.
When I was making my way out of Christianity, at first I told myself there really is no harm being a Christian. It's okay to be Christian because Christianity teaches love. The foundation of Christianity is love. Love thy neighbor. First of all, you have to love your God, right? Love your God first. That's the first thing. And love thy neighbor. And I was trying to rationalize those two things. What's the harm in loving my neighbor? And, so I was thinking, Christianity is good after all. And if Christianity is proven to be wrong, what have I lost? Right? Those were my my thoughts. What have I lost? Then I started asking, but if Christianity is wrong in that there's another religion that's actually right, then I've lost everything. I've lost absolutely everything. And then Christianity dictates how I should live my life. Christianity dictates how I should, have, they say, how you move and think and have your being. How do they say? There's a particular scripture that says something about moving and having your being. And I was thinking, no, it's not okay to just stop at saying, it's okay to be a Christian. It's okay to remain so. There are better things to aim for. There are better things to look out for. So I said, no, I'm not going to stop here. The Pascal's way just stopped working for me,
Yeah, but that's when you became self-aware of the bullshit. Okay, this is about indoctrination. This is, and I blame the Christian parents. Right? If the kids go to a secular school, that's when they start to become self-aware of the religious bullshit, any religion, right? And that's when they start overcome the problem about indoctrination. Okay, but the problem starts at home. Yeah,
it does.
Suppose that.
So, look out for number one. Have you got kids?
I got 3 adult kids.
3 adult kids. And
I'm 50. I'm 56.
No, you're not.
Yeah, 66. Me, 1966.
No,
yeah, shut up.
No, you're not. Look at you.
Yes, I am. I know. Don't worry.
Look at you. You could pass for a 40-year-old.
That means I'm older than you, right?
You can pass for a 40-year-old, yeah.
Right. Yeah, of course. I'll prove it to you one day. Yeah, I'll prove it to you.
Okay.
I'll send you my driving license.
So your why I'm asking, your children, did you teach them religion? Did you
No.
Did you
No. They went to all secular schools and they do their own shit, and I respect that. Right. Now
and
if they come if they
and they're good
not,
people.
yeah, of course.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. Simple. Yeah. You just go and say, listen, in my opinion, I got more experience. If you do this, this thing will happen. Right? You start with the small stuff, right? The mother can say, look, this is a hot iron, or you go with a warm. This is warm. Hotter will burn you. Yeah, and you don't burn people. You say, look, you see this photo here? Somebody got burnt. This is nasty, right? And all aspects of life, right? You know what I mean? The street is almost the best university, but now it's YouTube. You can find anything you can find out, right? And learn from it. Okay, so they're not bad people, right? So I'm cool. Never been in trouble.
So you are more moral than the God of the Bible.
If it exists, tenfold. I could bet I make better decisions, right? Any of us can make better decisions.
Absolutely.
Even if it's a shitty decision, it's still better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It is.
But I tell you this, I am willing to be corrected. That's something that piece of shit got the arrogance behind it. He could not do. Right? He prefers to do something and fix it later than think about it first and make sure he's got no safety net. He hasn't done his safety checks.
Saying that, look out for number one. I'm not sure which story this is. In the Bible, there's a scripture where God said he regrets making human. God regretted making human, right? Now, this is an all-knowing God. He knew what was going to happen before it happened and still went ahead to create.
Hold on.
And
Steve, hold on. My apologies. He just older. He just likes older women, so he says he's older. Right. I'm gonna send you. Yeah, I'm not gonna send to everybody. I'm gonna send you, right, my driver license. Right, and you're gonna say to the public, no, this dude is the age he's saying it is. Right? Yeah, Steve Wright is saying that. So he says he's older. That's me. Are you saying that I'm not 56?
I think he's just teasing.
I know, but
he's just teasing. So God regrets making humans. How can you worship someone that says, I regretted making you lot? I wouldn't trust a God like that. How can you regret your own creation? You're supposed to be the perfect God. And now you regret?
But how can you fuck it up in the first place if you allegedly are perfect? That's a contradiction in term. You got full power. You got full knowledge. You got the tools and you fuck it up. Yeah? You fuck it up. How can you fuck up if you are the best person, if you're the best entity? Forget about it. You you get the best engineer and you do a shitty you do a shitty job. You do a shitty bridge. You do a shitty house. You do a shitty building. Really?
And after I think it was the story of Noah. Yeah, that's when God says he regrets making humans. I think that was when he said that. Now, God decides, you know what? My first efforts at making humans didn't quite work out right. So let's start all over again, right? Let us wipe the slate clean. Let us wipe everyone out. So he decides, okay, take everyone out. Let's kill every baby, every infant, every pregnant woman, every elderly, disabled. Just let's kill everyone, okay, with the flood. And you would think that the second time around, the plan will be foolproof. You would think that he would get his act together. Do you think he did that?
No, and that is called making a prototype. If he's not sure, if he's not sure how to do his own shit, test it. Yeah, everybody in this planet that's got a degree, right, in any technical field, you don't do the full thing first. You do a small prototype, you test the things, you make your equations, you make your changes, and then you do the full product.
He did twice, knowingly created angels and humans, knowing that they will fail. Everything he has done has failed. He created angels. Angels were fighting with him in his heaven. He creates humans. Everything your God has done, he has failed at it.
Miserably.
He's failed miserably. And somehow he will punish humans for his own failures.
And you know what? The irony is that the Bible is acknowledging admission of guilt, admission of guilt. It's like saying, look, I made this shit, I fucked up, but also about it, I will send my kid to fix it, or myself, however you want to fucking put it, use it, yeah? And still, God is not a Christian. It was fucking Jewish, but anyway, it's not here nor there.
No, there was no Christians. There were no Christians before Jesus. Jesus was not even a Christian.
Exactly. The dude was a Jew. What the fuck?
And Jesus told the disciples, some of you here would not taste death, and I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Some of you here would not taste death. And that's why the disciples didn't bother to write anything down. They didn't bother to, because they were expecting their savior. They were expecting, apparently, the Gospels were not written until at least 50 years after. Who would trust anything 50 years after the fact?
And not just 50 years. 50 years, the first one. Then 60, 70, you know what I mean, like that. Like a 10-year, like a, 10 or 15-year gap into the 90s. What? You cannot make it up. You cannot make it up. Seriously.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And, you know, why anybody would choose. Well, don't let me say that. Let me take my words back. It's time that people have a rethink. That's what we're saying. It's time that you come out of that religious bubble and just realize that the Bible is not a good book. The Bible is full of contradictions. The Bible is full of all the evil you can think of is present in the Bible. You only need to open it. You only need to read it to find these things we're talking about in there. I've heard people said, I left Christianity because of the Bible. I read the Bible and it made me an atheist. You know, God is a bad scientist. How about he's not even a scientist at all?
That's true. That's true.
He
could be a pothead.
Who can't win. He messed up with the first two humans. Kicking him out of the garden didn't help. Murdering everyone but Noah and his didn't help. Loser. He is a loser. He is a loser. As long as humans feed on hate and hide from peace, they will never even come close to perfect. No, we can't feed on hate. We can't feed on hate. But religion teaches to hate, though. Religion teaches you to hate people that don't share the same belief system as you. Not Moses, the judges, the prophets, the Jesus or the disciples have fixed God's problem. He just cannot win. Moses couldn't do it. The judges couldn't do it. The prophets couldn't do it. Jesus couldn't. Disciples couldn't. Nobody can. If he couldn't do it, then nobody can. It's crazy. They had to wait for the people alive in those days. We're all dead, so nobody could argue the lies they were writing. Guys. What's Dr. Osiris saying? The only good thing about womans is that they go well with applesauce. Do they?
What do you mean?
They go well with applesauce. Woman's taste like pork? Dr. Cyrus, woman's taste like pork. Tanisha says, hey, I'm a pothead. I can definitely do better than God. Listen,
Yeah,
all of us can do better than God. All of us have better morals. How many people listening to me now have... No, don't let me do it. I was going to ask some very crazy questions, but don't let me do it. I was going to say, how many of us have killed another human? Or how many of you have taken a knife and stabbed another human? But listen, let's not go there.
No, okay.
I know the people, we have more morals. Let's not.
No, that's fine. Let's spin it the other way around. If you got the chance, if we can give you the full power to do another Earth, right, and put inhabitants there from your creation, would you do better? That's the question. Right, that's the question. Can you do better than was allegedly done before, or not? And I bet my life that you could.
Of course.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. And that's the key question here. Right? That's the key question here. We are, by definition, more morals because we are capable of acknowledging that the previous what it was done before, it was not better than what we can do now. As simple as that.
Ox is 100% right. Ox says God could win though. All he has to do is show himself. Show himself.
Well, yes and no, because he can show himself. So? No, yeah, because put it this way: this is like like a dictator being an asshole, okay, and showing himself. He'd still be an asshole. Do you understand? I mean, showing himself.
I heard Matt Dillahunty on the Atheist Experiences. Even if God was to prove himself to exist, says that don't mean he's going to worship him.
No, exactly. Well, it's sort of similar, right? I mean, why do we have to? That only shows that it is true that he's an asshole, that he's a dictatorship. Yeah, not that he did right. It's just that he's still a scumbag in real life.
Of course, we know we're better people than God and these people that identify as God's people. My God, I got good aim. I didn't kill him. Just made it hard for him to walk. Oh, let's see. Those all gods speak for themselves. They don't speak. Them gods don't speak at all. That's one thing they don't do. The gods, they don't speak. They don't show themselves. They do nothing because they don't exist.
God of the gaps.
Well, the other day, someone puts in the chat here that in hell the air conditionings have been fixed, so there's air conditioning now. So it's nice and chill down there.
Danish is right. Okay, she's absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, even if he show himself, he's still an asshole. Why worship somebody? Why worship a dictator? Why? To proving his existence is proving that he's still a scumbag of a supernatural entity.
Okay, I think we've gone over 3 hours. Yeah. Well, it's been a lovely conversation, and I feel proud of all of us here that we can have this. Honestly, I did not see a day like this 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't think I saw this. That a time will come when I can meet people who together we can just break down the foundations of religion, of Christianity, just bring it down to the ground with no fear of repercussions. Nobody's coming for us. Nobody's coming to come and take us to jail for speaking our minds. We can boldly say that your religion is a lie. Your religion is all just made up. I tell you, I live for this. I live for this. This is what gets me going every day, and I am here for it.
We dare the old man to appear.
I'm here for if he can appear. We've been talking all about him. He's just a crappy god.
Crappy designer, yeah.
I tell you, he's just a mess. And we were taught to be scared. They tell you, have a fear of God. What fear?
Fear factor.
Any God that you have to be afraid of isn't worth it. Any God that you have to be petrified of is not worth your time and space. Your energy isn't worth it. No.
It's a tyrant. Sure.
Absolute tyrant. What are you on about? Dr. Cyrus says, damn it, beat me to the air conditioning bit. Okay, guys. So Danisha, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back. Because now I've got this thing. I've got to be at home. So I've got more time. I'll be back tomorrow. So look out for number one. Will you be on the roads tomorrow?
Definitely.
I
if you see me on the chat, I'm not able to say anything.
To comment.
Okay. Indeed, to comment, because I'll be like hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So if it's
as long as you're listening, and as long as you're doing your job, we need you to
I'm doing my job, but
as long as you're doing your job, because
my job is listening to you.
When you're on the roads, how many days are you on the road for?
5 days, but I'm between 12 hours up to maximum that I'm allowed 15 hours in working. So it doesn't. I mean, I use a HIAB, which is a crane mounted lorry. Yeah, right. All sorts of things. So I'm supporting the HS2. Right. So I provide service. Well,
to the HS2. Okay.
Heavy, big, heavy stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Right?
When's that going to be done? The HS2.
It won't. In the sense of it's growing.
Oh, it's
growing. There's too many places that's been appropriated,
extended.
Indeed, extended for support. Yeah, I'll give you an example. Of waste. Right, I cannot go into too many details. There's a tunnel being constructed. Right. Yeah, but the tunnel has been acquired on farmer's field. Okay, so they acquire the land or the permission to do the tunnel. Right, to do the tunnel, the whole projection of the tunnel, to make the infrastructure for that to happen costs £40 million just to service the making of the tunnel, which is 2 tunnels, right, to go from one side of the mountain to the other, right, or to this hill, not mountain, hill, right. At the end of when they finish the tunnel, they will destroy the infrastructure, right, because they got tunnel borers basically, right, yeah, and it will create a lot of dust. So they have built this infrastructure will cost 40 fucking million, right, to extract. So the what is extracting is not going out into the atmosphere. It's being sucked out, right? So it's going through this conduct, and it's going to some reservoirs, filtered out to be taken. That costs it costs 40 million pounds. Once the tunnel is done, they would have to destroy that, because they had to put it as how the farm was, because they're leasing at the moment, right? So 40 million in, 40 million out, and nothing happened. And those are sort of things that the people don't know. It's nasty.
Wow.
It's nasty.
Wow.
The amount of trees that have been cut down to put sites is unreal. And of course, they had to put the trees back. But the mere fact that they have cut down for the sake of the edges too.
It's crazy.
So,
but
anyway.
It's all modernization, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much, and have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you for coming. And on Wednesday, 6 p.m. UK time, I've got a live stream with the head of Atheism UK. He's coming to have a conversation. We're going to talk about atheism in the United Kingdom and also religion. So we're going to talk about the rise of atheism and the decline of religion in the UK. There's statistical facts. This is not something we just that comes out of our mouth. There is statistical facts to prove that atheism is on the rise and religion is on the decline, constantly on the decline in the UK and all over the world. So we have the head of the Atheist UK on Wednesday, 6 p.m. UK time. So guys, look out for that and enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Good night. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
All good.